Hello, everyone. Hi. Hey, it is I, Trooper SJP, and this is the Academic Foxhole. How are you all doing? Krellin subscribed before the stream started for suspicious reasons. And those suspicious reasons involved, I think, advertisement. But I do owe Krellin a song. He is correct. And do not think that I will not play it, because I will. But actually, do you know what I need to do? Oh, I don't know if I can get access to this. Hold on. I have something for you, Krellin. But I might actually have to, I have to escape out of that. Hold on. I'm doing a thing on with the open. Then hold on. I've got Krellin. This is for you. This is, and I'm sure it'll be really bad. But I have something for you, Krellin. Hello, Atomica. Hey, Jer. I think, by the way, our new emote has been approved. The new dive, I believe, is in there now. The one that should look better on the dark, because I got the message saying that the new one was approved. So the new dive emote from Jer is live, everyone. Because of what happened. All right, Krellin, I'm probably not going to do this well. Yeah, this is gonna be bad. Krellin, this is gonna be bad. You know, I probably should have done it a whole different way. The name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. Nope. I know what happened. You know what happens? They start with a name. Sorry, that's what happens. Wait. We have to start. We're gonna try it again. I think I got it. Hold on. Let's see. This is the karaoke version. We'll see if we can get it. I don't know. Shirley, Bo Burley, Banana Fana for Furley, Fee Fi Mo Merley. Shirley. Lincoln, Bo Binkin, Banana Fana for thinking, Fee Fi Mo Minkin. Lincoln. Everybody, I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F or an M will appear. And then I say Bo at a B, then I say the name, then Banana Fana info. And then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a Fee, Fi, and a Mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. Honorable Barnold, Banana Fana, Fofonold, Fee, Fi, Mo, Monold, Arnold. Lincoln, Bo Binkin, Banana Fana, Fofinkin, Fee, Fi, Mo, Minkin. Oh no, this is where you get the extra rules. Oh. Drop the F's for red, oh Mary, drop the M's mo airy. That's the only rule that is contrary. Now say Bo. Now Tony with a B. The Banana Fan and Fo. Now you say the name again with an F this very plain. Then a Fee, Fi, and a Mo. Then you say the name again with an M this time. And there isn't any name that you can rhyme. Everybody do Tony, Bo Boni, Banana Fana for phony, Fee Fi Mo Moni. Tony. Let's do Billy, Bo Billy, Banana Fana for Philly, Fee Fi Mo Illy. Billy. Everybody do Masha, Bo Basha, Banana Fana for Fasha, Fee Fi Mo Asha. Masha. A little trick with Nick, Bo Bick, Banana Fana for Fick, Fee Fi Mo Mick. Nick. The name game. Krellin, Bo Bellin, Banana Fana for Felon, Fee Fi Mo Melon. Krellin. There you go. That's it. Shirley Lincoln, Abe's daughter. You still want the I still want the Bee Gees though. So that was this is what happened. But how do you name game Ducky? Just how you think you name game it. Oh, the name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. Yes, with profanity. B or an F or an M will appear. And then I say Bo at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fana, and fo. And then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. But if the first two letters are ever the same, I drop them both and say the name. Like Bob, Bob drop the B's, Bo, Ob, or Fred, Fred drop the F's, fo, red, or Mary, Mary drop the M's, mo, airy. That's the only rule that is contrary. Barantor, 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 Bo, Arantor, Banana, Fana, Fo, Farantor, Fee, Fa, Mo, Marantor. Barantor. Wee. Thank you both for the resubs. So also, hey Tekarash, and also No Mucky, and also Ice Bunny, Krellin, Levi, Iffy. Hello, Iffy. Hey everybody. So what I did was, this is what happened. I downloaded a karaoke version of the name game, because I want to go and record it for Grinny Weasley, but I wanted to record it really well. So I was like, oh, I should get the the full on karaoke version of the name game, so I could record it all nice for her. So that is my current plan. I've got to record 2 songs. I've got to record the name game, and then somebody else asked me to record something for them, and I've got to do that as well, and a letter of recommendation. But all of that, it's gonna be good. So for obvious reasons, I was looking at 16 Candles on IMDb, and Ducky doesn't have a name. He's just... Oh, no, Ducky isn't in 16 Candles. Ducky is in Pretty in Pink. 16 Candles, the guy you're thinking about, the geek, his name is Farmer Ted. So he's called Farmer Ted, and that's 16 Candles, but Ducky is in Pretty in Pink. Just for the record. Yeah, but his name was Farmer Ted. Did they just make this? No. 16 Candles and Pretty in Pink are totally different. 16 Candles is about a young girl who's 16. Her parents forget her birthday. There's date rape and lots of racism and sexual harassment and groping and a lot of sexual harassment. But then Pretty in Pink is about the girl from the wrong side of the tracks who wants to date the hot boy, wants to date the hot boy, but the hot boy's best friend is a jerk and horrible, the other rich guy, the hot rich guy, she wants to date a richie guy, and she has a best friend who is obsessed with her in a creepy way, and then also there's a record store, but in the end she's like dating the rich boy or whatever, they're kind of a thing, but then I don't know, there's a breakup, whatever. Anyway, she goes to the dance in a really great dress and everything works out. Yes, so but there's less class issues. 16 Candles doesn't have the class story that Pretty in Pink and Some Kind of Wonderful do. Yeah, so there's like a whole class commentary in Pretty in Pink. Yeah. Pretty in Pink had an alternate ending, evidently, where her and the best friend end up together. Pretty in Pink. Yes, but I think that nobody liked it. I think people didn't buy it, right? The ending where she and Ducky get together, people were like, we do not buy this at all. Everything does not work out. Ducky was the support system, and the rich but not complete asshole gets the girl. But Ducky, she was not into Ducky. And that's the thing. She was not sexually attracted or romantically attracted to Ducky at all. He was her friend. If they got together, that would be not good. Do you know what I mean? Because then what we're telling people is that if you just hang out and be friends with someone, even if they're not into you, you're going to win them in the end through persistence and kind of some sketch harassment as well. And so that wouldn't be good. She wasn't always the best friend to Ducky either. Yeah, and also the character Ducky was based off a person who was super gay. And so it's always a little bit weird to me because like, I don't know. A little, yeah. And Levi's like, you owe me a relationship because I treated you in a manner that should be everyone's baseline. Kindness, yeah. I've never seen either, but I'm grateful for Trooper synopsis. Oh, Iffy, then I should give you the synopsis for Some Kind of Wonderful, because that's one you should hear. And so we get the message that if you're rich and hot, you just get everything. Well, but there's the rich hot guy who's the bad guy, and he doesn't get anything. I think he gets punched in the face, right? So I mean, so like not all rich people get all the things. And when he was a jerk, she broke up with him, but she came back to him because like I don't know, he learned whatever. But I'm not going to movies for truth. Yeah, but I would be really disturbed if she and Ducky ended up together when she didn't like him. Like that would not make me happy. So in the same way that I was really unhappy with the end of Some Kind of Wonderful, that one I thought was terrible, and I was very, very, very unhappy with the end of that movie. If you've not seen Some Kind of Wonderful, that's another John Hughes movie. And this is the one that has Eric Stoltz as the lead male. And he's from the poor side of the tracks, so it's sort of like a gender-flipped Pretty in Pink. It would have been better if it ended with the rich jerk giving Ducky a makeover and her seeing him with different eyes instead. I just don't want them together because she's not into him. I don't like when that happens. Like, I think it reinforces nice guy narratives and sort of geek entitlement in ways that I think is gross. I don't like it. She's not into him. She should, like, if she's not into him, she shouldn't be into him. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. Like Some Kind of Wonderful. I didn't like that one either. See, I feel like, Krellin, you'd probably like the ending of Some Kind of Wonderful because that's the sort of the ending that you would like, but I hated it. I thought it was awful. Yeah, hearing the discussions, the trope of friend getting the girl by hanging around is not good. A lot of 80s wacky hijinks movies were kind of rapey. Oh yeah, oh yes they were. I changed for you. Look how awesome I suddenly am is a bad vibe. So here's what happened in Some Kind of Wonderful and why I hated the ending. So Eric Stoltz is the lead guy. He's from the wrong side of the tracks. And he's obsessed with Leah Thompson, who's the hot rich girl. He's obsessed with her. He's like, oh, I love the hot rich girl. She's so hot. Oh, I love her so much. And he's an artist, so he draws her all the time. And she's got like a jerk boyfriend named Hardy Jens, played by somebody we don't care about. So she has a rich boyfriend who kind of treats her poorly, and like she's dating him because like, you know, whatever, but like Eric Stoltz loves her. So, but then Eric Stoltz has a best friend played by Mary Stuart Masterson, and Mary Stuart Masterson is clearly a lesbian in this movie. Clearly. Anyway, so she's like short hair, drummer, little punk rock, and she has a crush on Eric Stoltz's character the whole entire time. And anyway, he's not into her, and he doesn't know that she has a crush on him. He's obsessed with Amanda Jones. So he decides that he's going to go and take her out on a date, right? Like he's going to plan this whole big epic date. And he asks her out on the date, Amanda Jones, Leah Thompson. And she says yes, I think because her boyfriend's treating her poorly at this moment. And he like creates this whole entire epic date that's like the best date you could ever have in the entire universe, which involves like breaking into an art museum, and he's placed this painting he's made of her in the art museum, all this sort of big deal. But here's the thing, it has to be perfect. So Watts, which is Mary Stuart Masterson character, says like, I will get like, she has like a really expensive Rolls Royce that is her boss owns or whatever. So she dresses up like the chauffeur and like chauffeurs them around on this date. But of course, inside she's dying the entire time. Also, they make out. Eric Watts and Eric Stoltz's character, they make out briefly because he wants to make sure he's good at kissing. So she like kisses him, and then he still doesn't get that she likes him, and also he's still not into her. Whatever. It's terrible. So nonetheless, he has like his father who's a plumber and like works hard, like good working class dude, has saved up all this money for Eric Stoltz to go to college. But Eric Stoltz doesn't want to go to college because he's just like, I don't know, I'm a working class dude, I don't want to go to college. So he spends the entire his entire savings, like $10,000 or whatever, on a pair of diamond earrings for Amanda Jones, Leah Thompson's character. And so at the big date, he gives her these earrings and all of this. And at the end of the date, at the end of the movie, she's like, you know what? Thanks for this date. It was really great. But I realized I should not be dating you. I should not be dating anybody. I need to go and find out who I am. And anyway, I think you really want to give this to Mary Stuart Masterson's character. And he's like, what? And he's like, oh, Mary Stuart Masterson's character, like, likes me. So then he runs after her. He's like, hey, let's get together. And she's like, sure. And I was like, oh my God. You get the sloppy seconds. He didn't like you through the whole movie. You have been suffering as he's being inconsiderate in front of you the entire movie. You like first off, she probably should have done none of those things, because she should have like had boundaries and said what she wanted, but whatever. So we're not going to blame Eric Stoltz's character for that one too much. Anyway, and at the very end, he doesn't even come to the realization on his own that he likes her. Like, Leah Thompson's character tells him that he should go and date Watts, and he's like, oh, okay. And then he gives, oh man, I was so unhappy with that ending. I was like, it's like the ending I suppose everyone's supposed to want, because you want them to get together, but I did not want them to get together. I wanted her to date the punk rock dude, or like a gal, or whatever, but like not some dude who's like pining after somebody else for the entire movie. It was just such an insult to her character. I could not have it. I couldn't have it. That's all. Yeah. It's okay when a girl gets a makeover once the guy... Actually, I don't think that is okay, Krellin. I think that's bad, too. Taki Roach had some straight... Yeah, and it was treated like... Oh, yeah, the A's were terrible. And that's coming from me having unrequited romantic love in high school. Me too. Yeah, I actually don't think it's okay when the girl gets a makeover and wins the guy who isn't interested in her. For example... And this is like a tad better, but still not good. Like in Grease, like, so Danny is clearly into Sandy in the beginning of the movie before his friends come around. And he likes her just the way that she is before his friends come around. But once his friends come around, he gets all gross and creepy about it. And the only way she gets him in the end is like by changing entirely who she is, this makeover that makes her somebody completely differently. And then like she's cool enough for him to date her in front of his friends. That is a bunch of BS and totally not okay. I don't like that either. I think it's bad. I don't like it. I think the idea that you have to change completely who you are so that somebody will like you is a bad message, and I don't like it. And it doesn't feel good. Like when you're the nerd and you get told the only way people will like you is to stop being who you are, that is not one of those things that is like a wish fulfillment for me in my movies at all. I hate that. It's just the worst. Revenge of the Nerds, all the teen movies, even Back to the Future, have those weird 80s vibes going on. Oh, they do. Taki Rosh says, take 40 Days and 40 Nights. The ex straight up breaks in and rapes the main character, and he's treated as in the wrong. I call bullshit. Oh, yeah. But the ending is like, I don't want someone to be dating me because somebody else told me they were dating me and they weren't even really into me. That's like, I feel like she deserves somebody who's actually into her for real. Do you know what I mean? Like, ugh. A lot of young and not so young people are pretty stupid about relationships. Right, they are, but I don't think we should be romanticizing that stupidity and romanticizing unhealthy behavior. Like, I don't think we should be telling people that romance is being mistreated all the time or stalked or like, I feel like a lot of our romantic, I have strong feelings about this if you've not been able to tell. A lot of our romantic comedies are not romantic. They're really awful, and they send really bad messages about what is a good relationship. And if you learn how to model relationships off of romantic movies, we're giving people super, super bad messages. Aren't you describing much about nothing? Maybe Cyrano. And we all assume that everyone should be able to read signals like that, which is really ableist. We all signals that people like you. Yeah, I mean, we got to tell people what's up. We have to we have to talk to people, you know, like we have to sort of articulate what our needs are. And I think when it comes to sort of ableism, they're conflicting accommodations. That's a situation of conflicting accommodations, I'm afraid. Grease is just terrible, full stop. Wait, Trooper. I mean, the way they wrote it was bad, but they were both willing to change for the other, except that he stopped, right? That's the thing. when he put on the Letterman's jacket, but the minute he saw her in her new outfit, he threw the Letterman's jacket into the ground, right? So in the end, he didn't have to change and maintain that change, and she did, right? So that was like not cool. If I have to change who I am for someone to like me, they still don't like me. Yes, Levi. They like whoever I'm pretending to be. Yep. Antarctica says, all these movies are kind of garbage. Yep. All these kind of movies are garbage. If he says, I think the makeover is conflated in old media and a negative way with our modern concept of self-improvement. Yes, yes. Oh, totally. Yeah, yeah. Stalking behavior is how you get the girl. Again, so bad. And also many love songs. I've been single for 4 years. I've kind of forgotten all that romance stuff. Hey, you know what they say? No RPGs are better than bad RPGs. Which is the same thing as no relationship is better than a horrible, terrible, bad relationship. Romantic movies and rom-coms are messing young people up. I think so, because they tell you that these things are romantic. And the thing is, when you're older, you might get it, but when you're younger and you don't know yet, and you look to these movies to tell you what is acceptable, you know? Cher's like, all I know is boomboxes at 2 a.m. Best option. Oh, if you try hard enough, anything is possible, even forcing someone to love you, which is awful. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right, that's the bad writing part. A better writing would have them see each other change and go, oh, wait, I like you better the way you were. How about we just do that instead? That would be so nice, Krellin, right? That would be so nice. That would be so nice. I would, you know, I mean, and here's the thing. The problem is that it gives you a signal, right? It tells you something. And you can say these are just movies, blah, blah, blah. But when you're a young person, it tells you something. Like, for example, when I saw 16 Candles in the movie theater, when I was a young person, I remember there were all these parts in the movie, like all the way that they treated Long Duck Dong in that movie was so racist. It was so racist. And I remember sitting there being, I don't know how old I was. I was probably, I don't know, 12 or something like this. I was pretty young. Watching this, and I'm sitting there thinking, wait, this is really rape, but I'm 12, right? Like I'm 10, 11, 12, 13, somewhere around there. I was kind of young, and I was like, wait, this seems not okay, right? This seems not okay. But everybody in the movie theater was laughing, and nobody said anything about this being really racist. And also the kind of pressure for what's her face's character to give up her underwear to Farmer Ted, and then also the fact that like the hot good boyfriend gives his drunk girlfriend to Farmer Ted to have sex with. There's all these things in this movie that I was like, I'm feeling really uncomfortable with what's happening in this movie, but everybody around me is laughing, so maybe I'm being too sensitive and maybe I don't know what I'm talking about because nobody else seems to be saying anything about this movie at all. So I suppose I'm wrong then, right? I suppose this must sort of be okay because it's a movie and everybody's here and everyone's talking about how great this movie is. So I suppose this is okay. I mean, I never felt comfortable about it, but since nobody said anything, I was like, well, maybe I'll just be quiet and like not, I mean, I was 11. What am I supposed to know? And so I just feel like I was young once, right? I was young once. And so I think that there's a way in which when you have movies like that they normalize certain behaviors, and if nobody speaks out about it, then you must think, oh, I suppose that's how everybody feels. And then you either go with it or feel like a weirdo outsider. Right? And media shows the aspirational values of a society or somebody's aspirational values. And you think that must be a norm. And either you conform to it, if that's you, or you feel like you're an outsider. I got my beard. It won't up and leave me or attach itself to some other guy. I was born a middle-aged man. Levi says, seeing shit like that and thinking I must be the weird one if I have a problem with it. Yeah, that happened to me all the time. If he says, at an early age in life, I disassociated with everyone else's reaction to the same thing I was seeing. Are you, Don Marati, are you talking about Police Academy? Oh, Don Marati, we're talking about all those 80s films. We're talking about the 80s. It was all the 80s. Yeah. We're talking about John Hughes films. Oh, speaking of which, Gervais says, movies also have the issues that our brains aren't always the best at telling the difference between what is make-believe and what is real, especially once it gets more realistic. Yeah. And I think if you want to go back to John Hughes films, did like anybody, like, I mean, I watched the movie. I watched it. It was a movie. No, I'm not gonna. Krellin, I'm not gonna trash The Breakfast Club. I'm gonna trash the really obviously super problematic Weird Science. Weird Science, everyone. Great theme song. There's a difference between racist and racial. Mel Brooks was excellent bringing up race and mocking hatred. That is true, Atomica. So, but did you see like Weird Science? Iffy, I bet Iffy has not seen Weird Science. Let me give you the summary. Weird Science. That was a movie about two nerds. Two nerd guys, and they like these two girls who are dating two jock dudes who are jerks, because jock dudes are always jerks in these movies, and the nerd girls are always dating the jocks because they're shallow and vain and vapid. And so then the nerd boys like these two nerd girls, but they are nerd boys. So the hot girls, sorry. The nerd boys like the hot girls. They never like nerd girls. The nerd boys like the hot girls who don't know they exist and who are dating the jock jerk dudes. And so the nerd boys, because they have no experience with women and they they take a Barbie doll and they hook it up to a computer and they decide to make their own perfect sex bot. And they like have a whole sequence where they're like making her boobs bigger or smaller, trying to figure out what boob size they want for their sex bot. And then they make a sex bot who's played by Kelly LeBrock. And Kelly LeBrock is the hot sex woman that was made from their Barbie doll, who's going to give, that is their like sex slave, who's going to give them a, like, I don't know, who then through the process of the movie, the hot adult woman is giving these nerd boys advice on dating girls, and then in the end they are able to date the hot girls, and then I think there's a wild party at their house. I don't know. And then I don't know what happens to Kelly LeBrock's sex slave character at the end of this movie. Yeah, I don't know. But the point was, this was a bad movie. And it was just, there it was. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just right there. And everyone's like, what a great movie. And I'm like, what is happening in my life? Atomica says, even as a kid, I remember thinking that movie was weird. Indeed. Carlin says, if the hot girls are shallow and vapid, why do the nerd boys want them anyway? Explain that, movies. Indeed. Yeah, because thinking with your penis was what you were supposed to do as a young man in the 80s. Oh my gosh, it was so bad. There were more than one hot sex woman. Oh, there were lots of hot sex woman movies. Anarch W says, Weird Science sounds boring. It was not a good movie. It was a remake of The Graduate. The sex slave was the older woman teaching the boys about love. Yeah, but at least in The Graduate, I mean, The Graduate's weird, right? Because The Graduate, Mrs. Robinson is sexually harassing young Dustin Hoffman, whereas in Weird Science, they just straight up made a sex bot, like, and it was creepy. It was creepy. Did they? Atomica. I think they did try to do a Weird Science TV show. Control Freak says, Weird Science is just Reanimator for people that don't like horror films. Yes. And I think that he was not into it in the very beginning because he was dating her daughter, right? And that would be like awkward. And then I think he got into it, but I think he wasn't into it in that first scene. And then also, anyway, there was like that whole 80s, My Private Tutor, and there were a lot of prostitute movies in the 80s, like Risky Business was about prostitution, where somehow Tom Cruise's character ends up starting a brothel in his house over the weekend. His parents are away, so that he can, I don't know, save the prostitute. And then Dr. Detroit was about a mild-mannered accountant who somehow becomes a big, huge pimp. And then, like, I just feel like there's a lot. Oh, yeah. But, I mean, there was just a lot of, oh my gosh. I think, wasn't it like 1989 or 1990? I think it was like late 80s. But there were all those. Oh, and then of course the Porky's movies. That was another one. Yeah, 1990. It is either the end of the 80s or the beginning of the 90s. It's that transition period. Pretty Woman. That's a... The 80s was 84 to 94. Fight me. I'm not going to fight you. I'm not going to fight you. At least in Pretty Woman, they're adults. That is true. Also, okay, now, if you have to be old like me to remember these movies, again, old like me, everyone. It was released in March 90, so it's clearly shot in the 80s. Yeah, that's fair. And the hair. So, okay, so look. Zapped. Mm-hmm. Zapped. You probably nobody but me remembers this movie. Uh, it was a movie with Scott Baio and probably also Willie Ames, because that was his like little sidekick dude. But Scott Baio, Tiger Beat Heartthrob, gets Rachel B. If you remember it, so he gets psychic powers, which he uses to rip off women's shirts. Because he's a teenage boy, so what he does with his psychic powers is sexually harass and sexually assault women. But it's a comedy. Woo! My goodness, the 80s were so bad. They were bad, everybody. No. Krellin, they did not. They did not. Krellin is telling me that they remade that movie in 2014. And why? What? No. Come on. Come on, Krellin. I'm not blaming you, Krellin. I'm just blaming Hollywood. Why? That was not a good movie. It was a bad movie. It was not good. Oh my gosh. On the other hand, Control Freak says, the 80s also had Back to the Future, which is perfectly rational plot of avoiding an edible complex. Rachel B says, there were certainly some trashy movies in the 80s, but there were also some good ones. There were some good ones, but my goodness, man. Atomica, holy hell, the only actor in the weird science TV show recognizes Brian George. Good character, but damn. Well, no, there were good 80s films, certainly. There were certainly good 80s films. There were lots of good 80s films, but there was that whole slew of teenage sex comedies which were awful. They were bad. It was like date rape was not even a thing. It was just not okay. Back to the Future was not Oedipal. He was very much not into his mom. His mom was into him, and I don't think the Greeks actually had a complex for that. That's true. Their complexes were only about the kids wanting the parents, not the other way around. That's true. Willow was another good one. Rodents of unusual size. Those don't exist. Inconceivable. There were a lot of good movies from the 80s. I watched movies that I enjoyed. There were things like, My Bodyguard. There's a teen movie. I'm trying to think of like teen movies from the 80s. My Bodyguard. I love that movie. I'll just sit over here with the mission and stay quiet for now. Oh, that was a good one too. I don't think it means what you think it means. Willow. Yeah. Did anybody here see My Bodyguard? Anyone? Besides me? That's an early 80s film. No? It was the story of a nerd boy who I don't know if I enjoyed it at the time. I would have to see it now to see if it ages well, but I liked it at the time. At the time, I thought it was real fun. I really enjoyed it. But I don't know. I'd have to see it again to see if it aged well. On a vague tangent, says Control Freak, on a scale of it goes to 11 through most excellent, how excited we are for Bill and Ted 3. I don't know. It could be good or it could be bad. I don't know. I have to see the trailers. I'm holding my judgment. These days, it's garbage adult animated shows that are always 3/4 angle with bad poop, sex, and gross humor that it's in a similar way. It's true. Like, I think it's really funny, NRW, what the patterns are. Like, we don't have a lot of teenage sex comedies right now. We used to have a lot of them, but we don't. Now we have these sort of adult animated shows, right? So it's interesting to me, what are the trends of our media trends? Legend, Takarash. Legend has Frankenfurter. Come on. Legend has oh my gosh, come on. Frankenfurter. People. Out my brain. Oh, come on. Rock Horror Picture Show. Susan Sarandon. Barry Bostwick. And come on. Tim Curry. Thank you, Takarash. I was like, I know this person, Tim Curry. Yes, he was the devil in Legend, and he was brilliant. So good. Oh, So good. Legend will have that, and that is good. Iffy says, nowadays, we're lulled into a false sense of certainly not in films these days, but that's mainly true for a few headline mainstream movies, but there are still awful norms in the film industry as a whole. Totally. Bill and Ted had a good message. Be excellent to each other. Yeah, Bill and Ted was pretty much good films, and they were the 80s. Yeah. You got the touch. You got the power. Yeah. The Wizard was definitely a cash grab for Nintendo, but I liked it. Rock and Roll High School is better than Bill and Ted. I mean, there was some ugliness in those films, but it came mostly from the bad guys and MILF jokes about Missy. Fair. I was like, why is Tripper saying Frankenfurter? Because I grant you that. If you Rock and Roll High School was one of the best films. Hey, MMK Star, we're talking 80s films at the moment. Tim Curry, more 80s, 90s cartoon voice actor. Space. Oh. The Darkness in Legend was the Darkness in Legend with the Devil's Son. Thank you, Takerush. Karate Kid. Anything with Tim Curry wins. Even the slightly problematic Clue movie. Yeah, that's true. Flames on the side of my face. So My Bodyguard was about a nerd boy. This one I liked. It was about a nerd boy who was being bullied in school by Matt Dillon. And Matt Dillon was bullying him and wanted to beat him up and whatever. And so this nerd boy, not knowing what to do about Matt Dillon wanting to beat him up in school, decides that what he'll do is he'll hire this one kid to be his bodyguard. And the kid is this kid that like everyone thinks is murdered some kid. Like everyone thought, he's like, oh, that kid, oh, stay away from that, like that weirdo kid over there. He murdered someone, like a big guy, played by Adam Baldwin, one of the Baldwins, maybe. Yeah, basically Judd Nelson in Breakfast Club, right? But I think by the Baldwin who was in Firefly, I think, when he was super young. Anyway, so the kid hires this kid to be his bodyguard, and through the process they learn a lot about each other, and it turns out the kid, didn't murder, like something had happened, but it was like messed up, and like they get to help form a friendship with each other, and it's sort of meaningful. Ruth Gordon is in it, and she's very good. And then when, Matt Dillon's going to go and be with the little nerd guy, the big guy's like, hey, you're going to leave my friend alone. But so then Matt Dillon gets his own bodyguard who's like, looks like The Rock. Anyway, it's not a comedy, a coming of age story. Adam Baldwin. Yes, Adam Baldwin. One of the Baldwins. Oh, Blue Lagoon was bad. I mean, yeah, oh, Kulan, I'm sorry you've had a distressing day. I'm happy to stream, and we're going to play a new game, which I'm super excited about. Telling Lies as well. Oh, Take Rush, they're brother and sister. The 80s, okay, so the 80s not only had a bunch of really creepy, rapey teenage sex comedies, there was also a whole thing about incest in the 80s. The 80s was also into incest. Blue Lagoon had it. Flowers in the Attic had it. There was a lot. And also, yeah, Blue Lagoon, also Flowers in the Attic. Yeah, there was just, I mean, it was the 80s. The 80s also had boobs everywhere. The 80s was a time. I don't know what to tell you all. Just in the 80s? That's right, Adam is not one of the famous Baldwins. He's not one of the Baldwin brothers. Kulan, by the way, we give you a hug. I give you a hug. I don't know if anybody else gives you a hug, but I give you a hug. Like I give you a big hug. So is this all to blame on cocaine-fueled scripts, directors and writers? Maybe. Maybe. I think. Well, but here's the difference, though. In Game of Thrones, we're not supposed to like the incest, whereas I think we're supposed to have I think we're not supposed to be that grossed out by it in the Blue Lagoon or Flowers in the Attic. Oh, one of your friends is going for a biopsy next week. Ooh, I am going to knock on wood for your friend, I think it was mostly to blame on the collapse of the censorship code. Maybe, Krellin? Tricky, right? Yeah. Oh, Dead Poet Society. It's like Swing Kids. And of course, we're talking about Yeah, it was for the shock in Game of Thrones, and also to show that they're villains, right? That was like, it was supposed to show that they're villains, and it got a little bit different later in the books, but like the first introduction is that they're having sex with each other, and also they push a kid out the window. That's like first scene of the book. So it's meant to show them that they're bad, right? Like it's meant to show them as villainous. Whereas in the Blue Lagoon, it was like a sign of their innocence, and I think also was a sign of innocence in Flowers in the Attic. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, John and Danny. That's true. That's true. But that also was then shown as bad. Oh, they're cousins. Oh. Are they cousins in the movie or just the book or vice versa? Because there was a whole thing about that, right? Mm. Mm. They're cousins in both. Thank you, Krellin. But they're definitely brother and sister in Flowers in the Attic. Definitely. Also, the 80s were kind of into, maybe the early 80s were all, maybe the early 80s, late 70s were also into forbidden love between priests and a not priest. Like, what do you call it? The Thornbirds, and yeah, there were like priest things. I don't. MMK Star says, I was born in 1988, so I missed most of it. Never watched. You know, MMK Star, I'm not telling you that you're missing stuff. There's some stuff that it is okay that you've missed it. There's some good stuff, but like there's a bunch of stuff that it's okay that you have not seen it. That's all. I'm just astounded at the pop knowledge here. Well, a lot of us are old, so, you know, we were there. That's all. It's a weird vicarious leads thing. Yeah, I think it is. Moral question: does horror get a pass on the 80s excess, since it was generally what led the horror killing them? Oh, Thornburgs was the show that George Michael's father figure in it, wasn't it? I think so. But that was different. The thing is, father figure was about gay sex, but people did not get it because he put a lady in the video. And so that was like a different thing going on. People read it. Yeah. Father Figure was a super gay song, but he was not out. So people were reading that differently. And it's like, you know, like Daddy, and it's fine. Well, it was about gay sex, and then they recast it to be about a priest and a girl and ick. It's true. And then it was ick. Yes. This is what I'm saying. So I think Atomica, there has long been, so the Hays Code, which came into effect in like 1933, the Hays Code, which was the form of self-censorship Hollywood engaged in before the Motion Picture Association, so before so the Hays Code went from like 1933 to like 68, like the late 60s. And the Hays Code was this sort of code of self-censorship. And it, one of the provisions was that villains can never win. And anybody who does immoral things they have to be punished by the end of the film. So you'd have things wherein people could be bad, but then they would have to be murdered at the end. And so I think there's a way in which horror can often get away with things as long as the people who are doing the bad things get murdered at the end. So I feel like there's a holdover there. When they localized Sailor Moon, they made Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune. They made them cousins, yet kept all the LGBT text creepy. To be fair, if 12-year-old me heard that was a super gay song, I would have taken it to mean something very different. Levi, would you have thought that it meant everybody was very happy? Is that what you would have meant? I'm old enough to remember the Flintstones having a gay old time. They did. Flintstones was still in regular syndication when I was young. It did used to mean fun or happy, but it also still meant gay. Going back to about the 20s or so, people were using it, usually gay people. Gay people were using it to mean gay as we think it like homosexual. As far back as we can tell, the 20s and 30s. So it was being used to mean homosexual at least as far back as the 1920s, but it was still being used to mean happy pretty late, actually, pretty late. More lame. But here's the thing. When they said it meant lame, they also meant gay, right? It was both, because it was using homosexuality as an insult to mean bad, to mean not cool, to mean awful. So it was both. It was both. Right? When people say, "Oh, when I say gay, I don't mean gay, I mean stupid and bad." Well, you mean both, right? You're saying that being gay is stupid and bad. Yeah. I meant more like Jason killing kids who are doing immoral things, but the good kids. Oh, totally, right? And that's part of Atomica. I think that's part of the holdover of the Hays Code, where you could depict bad things as long as the people who did them got killed. So Atomica, I think that you're right on that one, that it is a holdover from earlier sort of film standards. And how Maria was pretty witty and gay. Indeed. But so here's the thing though, West Side Story was written by two gay men. Both Bernstein and Sondheim were both gay. So you could say gay, pretty witty and gay, and have the general public not get it, but people who were gay would be like, ah, right? So for like queer audiences, somewhere there's a place for us has this whole double meaning, and as does I Feel Pretty. So there's a way in which, because the word gay meant both things depending on what audience you were in, you could write these things and talking about having a gay old time and have the general populace not realize that's what it meant, but have queer audiences understand that that's also what it could mean, and so you could have both things happening at the same time. Gay people are happy, apparently. I don't buy it. I have a great uncle with the first name Gay. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, 12-year-old me didn't understand the subtext at all. I discourage my student. Yeah, it should not be used as an insult. The name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F or an M will appear. And then I'll say bo at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fana, and fo. And then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. Rissa, bobissa, banana, fana, fofissa, fee, fi, mo, missa. Rissa. Thank you for the resub, Rissa. We are talking about the 80s and how it was awful. Also, even the word lame, I definitely try to work that out in my vocab. Yeah, because that's also not great. And Krellin says, that's why Little Richard singing I Feel Pretty works so well. Indeed. Yeah. Now I'm going to get on track and play games. It's probably true. So no, it's really interesting how that you have, right? Because that's the thing. That's what life was like for queer people before 1992, let's say, is that you were always dealing with subtext, right? You're always sort of creating these things where you'd have queer subtext so that queer audiences could find things, but straight audiences who might murder the gay audiences wouldn't know about the thing. So you have all of these. And if you know how to do queer subtextual readings, you're like, oh, what? Oh, and then you can see all of these things that the general public couldn't see so much. And that allowed you to have really queer things in the public eye so you could have them, but other people wouldn't know about it so that you would stay safe, right? So that was one of those things. The Goonies. Oh, Kindle. Should I get a Kindle? Maybe I should. I don't know. Maybe. The Goonies. That's good enough for me. It's good enough. Good enough for me. Yeah. Ah, Cyndi Lauper. Audiobooks killed the Kindle star. Oh no! Audiobooks killed the Kindle star. Kindle star. Oh, that's a good song. Yeah. So it's interesting, and I think about once you start getting into the 80s. I know it doesn't scan. You have to kind of like fake it in there. Once you get into the 80s, the sort of that gap between people not seeing and things being more obvious became more and more glaring. So, for example, people did not know, a lot of the general populace who were heterosexual did not know that Boy George was super gay. And there's Boy George just being big old Boy George. And people didn't know. Queer people were like, Boy George is gay. But a lot of people who were straight had no idea that Boy George was gay at all, even though he was just being Boy George. And so much so, I'm sure I told you this. Yeah, how do you not know that Boy George was gay? Because people didn't know. People didn't think about. I thought Boy George was Liberace gay. I was 6 and I knew Boy George was gay. Right, but here's the thing. I don't know if you remember this, but a woman sued Boy George for paternity. She claimed that Boy George was the father of her love child. And when he was on tour in the United States, they had a wild and passionate affair. And then, like, because he loved her and that he was the father of her baby, and she wanted, what's the word? Child support for her baby. And Boy George was like, I have never had sex with a woman in my entire life. But, like, people just didn't know. Do you know what I mean? They just didn't know. Oh, your grandmother, like, a lot of women loved Liberace because Liberace loved his mother. I think some people in the know just knew not to openly call it, yeah. Wasn't his legal defense? His legal defense was, ew, vaginas. And people are like, I wonder what that means. And you're like, okay, well. Anyway, he was not the father of the love child, by the way, in case you all wanted to know. Surprise, that was a spoiler. So it's just interesting, right? The ways in which, or other things too, like Rob Halford, right, from Judas Priest. He goes on stage looking exactly like a leather daddy from like a gay male leather bar. Like his look was a gay male leather daddy look 100%. It was straight out of Tom of Finland. But people didn't know. They didn't get that he was clearly giving you Tom of Finland, the Falcon, Eagle Bar, Folsom Street Fair leather daddy realness. And people didn't get it. They're just like, oh, he's very manly. He's wearing leather. And people who weren't in the know are like, oh, we see you. But that's how it was, right? That's how you had to be. You could not be out to straight people because that would be dangerous. You could be out to queer people, but you couldn't necessarily be out to straight people so easily. And so you had to find ways to let queer people know that you were queer so you can find community, but not let straight people know that you were queer because they would fire you. Yeah. Iffy says, Levi says, isn't it nice that this pop star's a virgin? Mom, I don't think that's what he meant. If he says, that sounds like a weird tabloid headline. I just thought people knew those things were all fake. Hey, I'm just saying. Reboot Mad Max is basically dressed like a Rob Halford body double. Yeah. But heteros would have no frame of reference. Of course not, because they never think about there being gay people, right? Like, there was a time when straight people did not realize there were gay people, really? Or they were like these boogeymen. Like it was very like that's what heterosexism does. You don't understand that there are people who are different and you don't see them. I have a comment about that actually. I will bring up. I love Boy George, says Atomica. When he got into all that legal trouble near the end of his life, I couldn't help but think, was your father time Mike effing Tyson? Yeah. Like how the Village People were super manly men. Krellin, yes. The Village People, super gay. People were like, oh, YMCA. YMCA is about having sex in the YMCA showers, is what that song is about. That's what that song is about. But people don't know. They don't know. Because they don't know. Riss is going to refrain from typing until she can switch to her laptop. Probably because she doesn't want to say anything about YMCA showers. I don't know. His lifestyle was not good for him. Yeah. My dear old grandmother cannot understand gay and lesbian love. See, this is, it's defaultism, right? That's exactly right, Jared. It's a defaultism. It's like if you don't know, like people just assume that everybody is straight until proven otherwise, but you have to prove otherwise they're still straight. And so this allows for certain things happening in media and life. Or if they knew it was this weird hidden world culture that they knew not to openly talk about, yeah. There were super manly gay men and always have been. Like there's long been a strain of gay male homosexuality that's about the Greeks and like hypermasculinity. There was a whole thought at one point in time It's almost like, says Levi, that representation is important. Maybe. Boy George is still alive. Yes. George Michael has passed. Yes. Boy George has gotten into some struggles as well. But some of that I think has to do with celebrity and being a celebrity and the difficulties of being a celebrity. Iffy says, I've read fiction from that era, and men on the DL would drive out to public restrooms and have gay sex anonymously. And they still do. I mean, people do it less because you can just go on an app and find sex that way, so you don't have to go to a public restroom and have sex there, or the YMCA showers, or parks, rest stops, airplane bathrooms, all those sort of places where people would go that. But now there's Tinder and Grindr, so you don't have to do that as much anymore. But yeah, people do it less because of that one closeted senator ruined it for everyone. But now people just have apps now. Like it's just easier to find people. You know, they say that's one of the reasons why bars are on the decline in some ways, that a lot of gay bars are shutting down because people have apps to meet each other. They don't necessarily need to go to a bar to meet each other anymore. So there's interesting shifts in our sort of cultural practices that I think are fascinating. That said, no, Boy George is still alive. Boy George is still alive. But bars need to have good food to get clientele out. It's interesting. Actually, I think it's actually there's a lot of stuff going on about bar culture that I think is really fascinating. We drink differently than we used to in the past. My dad would go and have a beer at lunchtime. Like, he'd go to work, and at lunchtime he'd go to a beer, and everybody at the newspaper would go to the bar, and they'd have a drink, a beer or two during their lunch hour. And there were different bars, right? So he was a clerk, and so there was a bar where all the clerks would go. There was a bar where all the newspapers, the reporters would go. There's a bar where all the Teamsters would go. So there'd be like lots of bars around workplaces, and people would go and they'd have a drink at lunch. They'd have a drink after work, and there were all these like little neighborhood bars, and people drank more, right? And they drank differently, and those kinds of bars, there are very few of them left. We have one here in my area called Sligo. It's one of the ones that I would call like a real old school neighborhood bar. But those neighborhood bars, if you remember them, most now you meet your Tinder date in a public restroom. Most gay bars are becoming specialized now to stay afloat. A lot more kink bars. Actually, what I'm seeing is fewer kink bars and more drag bars with drag shows appealing to straight audiences. So a lot of gay bars are just bringing in straight audiences to go and watch drag shows because RuPaul's Drag Race is so popular. And so there are a lot of straight women who want to go to see drag shows. And so what I'm seeing is more and more gay bars are appealing to a straight clientele who want to see drag. And just at what we have a gay bar here in Boston that does drag shows regularly called Jacques. And just recently, two guys that went to two straight guys went to this gay bar with their girlfriends to see a drag show, and there were gay men there and they got mad, and so they beat them up. So there was like a gay bashing at a gay bar because there's so many straight people coming in who are still homophobic and making the gay bars feel uncomfortable for gay people, which is, welcome to 2020. Crappy speakers on the work laptop, but at least the keyboard knows what I want to say. Still finishing some work, but listening because of Foxhole makes everything better. Thank you, Rissa. Krellin says, yeah, but we don't need to go to bars to keep up with the neighbors anymore. We just follow them on Facebook and keep up on Nextdoor. That's also true, Krellin. Like, the bars were a space for community engagement, right? Like, that's where you would socialize, you would find out what's going on in your neighborhood, and that's just not... Yeah, I mean, we used to basically have pub culture, but we've gotten into a kind of a very anti-drinking culture in the United States. We don't drink as much as we used to anymore. So the pub culture has declined that way because of the lack of drinking as much. But also, real estate is really expensive. As our cities have become gentrified, those little bars can't afford to stay afloat because they're like little crappy bars that don't even serve food. They've got like a pool table and beer, you know what I mean? And like, those bars can't afford the rent, right? They just can't afford the rent in their neighborhoods because their neighborhoods are becoming gentrified. So they're being torn down and replaced with like fancy college bars or something, sports bars or something. I think old enough to drive and join the army, but not old enough to drink is kind of strange to my Norwegian sensibilities. Well, you have to remember, Takarosh, we also had prohibition where it was illegal to drink alcohol for 13 years, buy alcohol for 13 years. We're a strange country. Oh, and he looks way healthier than I remember him seeing before. Total win. Oh, good. Mm-hmm. And also, 21 was not always the age for drinking. In the 60s, with a lot of the kind of like youth movement stuff that happened, Takarosh, the alcohol age was lowered from 21 to 18, and that was part of the reason why we had this huge entertainment scene, because all these people who were 18 to 21 could go to these live venues. And so it was 18 through like the late 60s through the 70s, but then in the 80s, Mothers Against Drunk Driving petitioned to get the legal age raised from 18 to 21. And the federal government doesn't have control over that because that's a state level thing. But what the Reagan said, if you do not raise your drinking age to 21, we will not give you federal highway funds, so you can't fix your highways. So basically all the states raised the drinking age to 21 because they didn't want to go bankrupt. Hey Toad, welcome in. Oh, good for the Twin Cities. Yeah, prohibition. I can't drink as much as I used to. No one can make it out of their 20s. Well, that's fair. There aren't any openly gay bars in my hometown due to a tragedy a decade ago. Where's your hometown, Atomica? Iffy says, so Mad Men is just awful to me for so many reasons. Glamorize the era unrealistically to the point of absurdity. Iffy, I disagree with that. And one of the only things I think it got right was one of the minor characters that urinates himself because of alcoholism, and it's played for laughs. But if like Mad Men was more realistic, all the characters would be weighed down by the consequences of their vices. Actually, Iffy, I think that's what Mad Men does. Mad Men, I never thought of Mad Men as that kind of glamorization. I think some people might have taken it that way, but when you look at it, like nobody's happy in that show. Nobody's relationships last. Don Draper's having panic attacks and anxiety attacks at some point in time. And while that one guy is pissing himself because he's really bad, everyone there is very clearly an alcoholic, and it's a problem for all of them. And so I always think about Mad Men as being oh gosh, people are having all sorts of problems in that show, and it's not good for anyone. Like that show, everybody looks great, but everybody's like in a really bad way. Yes, right? Because people dressed really well in the 50s, right? I mean, if you can look at even poor people dressed really well. But it's about that underneath that sort of that veneer of perfection, that sort of the veneer of the suburban perfection, people are messed up. And I think that was really in many ways what Mad Men was about, that you have this this advertising image of perfection, which is what the 50s was all about. The 50s was all about projecting that image, but underneath the image, people were in like a terrible, terrible way. You disagree with their presentation. Yeah, I disagree, Iffy. I disagree that the Day-Day was not quite that pristine. If you look at what working class people looked like in the working class, not even middle class people. Like first off, everybody in that show is middle class, right? So first off, and actually upper middle class, and also upper class. So we're dealing with people who have a lot of money. So the show is dealing with people who have a lot of money, and they did dress that way. And but even working class people dressed really well. If you look at pictures of Black and Latina people in the 1940s and 50s, man, are they dressed so fine. Like they're dressed well. I mean, we were just more, people did not start dressing down until the late 60s. But before then, people dressed really well. Even if you didn't have money, there was you may not have a lot of different outfits, but there was a formality. I mean, men all wore hats. Women would wear gloves. It was just it was like a different moment in terms of what the aesthetic was like. We have a much more, we have a much more sort of we were just more formal. Let's see. New Bedford. Don't live there now. Guy came in, took a bartender, a few others' lives, kidnapped his girlfriend, and died in a shootout. Ooh, that's terrible. There's this visual veneer where it looks like the ads, not like how people actually looked. Most people go to private clubs. They didn't have TV, so had too much free time and spent it pressing clothes and doing their hair, and they did. Especially for the suburban people, that was very much part of what they did. Projecting the post-war boom while still struggling. 50s sensibilities were sort of Stepfordy. They didn't care about things like white teeth in the mirror for a long time, and so tobacco stains up the wazoo. Yeah, but you'd have to go and like do their teeth for all the actors each time. I mean, I don't think like their teeth not being perfect would have been. It's not the. Yeah, and Krell notes factory workers didn't wear suits to the job, but they had a suit in the closet for Sunday. Yep, and they didn't wear suits to the job because they were blue collar. Levi says, I saw a really interesting video about how hard complying to societal norms was pushed to people growing up in the 50s and 60s. I think they called them the rules, but were never codified or anything. Just a lot of like after-school films about how young boys act, and this is how young girls act, and almost everyone bought into it. And also there was like social program. If you didn't follow in, you would not do well. And it led to a lot of very broken people. Oh yeah. There's a level of formality that I can accept, but I think it's compatible with modern perceptions of beauty. You know, if it's really interesting because they the director told the actors they were not allowed to work out using modern workout machines. They could only use things that existed back then because modern fit bodies look different than 1950s fit bodies. And so while they had fit bodies, they didn't have the kinds of fit bodies that we have today. So they were allowed to do swimming. There were things they were allowed to do, but they weren't allowed to do the sorts of things because they really wanted them to have a more period body. So if they were going to go with fit bodies, they would look different than the kinds we have now. I thought that was actually very interesting. Yeah, right. So they would have different. They would have. So that was actually part of their mandate to make sure that they had bodies, because a lot of Hollywood actors have really fit bodies because you can't really make it in Hollywood without that. Reminds me of a thing I have to tell you about British soap opera stars. And so they told their actors they weren't allowed to sort of do modern fitness, which I thought was interesting. Boiler suits. There was a really seedy joint that was in the center of my town growing up. Bartender shut someone off and they came back with a shotgun and blew her head off in front of my mom. She was real fraught up after that for a while. Oh, wow. That's terrible, Toad. Wow. That's awful. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing that there was... The past was super violent, actually. Do you know what I mean? And I think that they got this sort of underlying level of violence quite often in that show. And I think they got the hypocrisy. I think they got, yeah, or you have to be funny fat. Yeah. You know, there was a really interesting article that I read, and it was about British soap stars. So there are all these British soap stars, and they will come to the United States. And they interviewed a couple of them who came to the United States. They wanted to come to Hollywood and become famous actors here. And it was interviewing these men and these women who, when they got here, they were basically told, and these were people who are like heartthrobs in the UK. And they get to the US and people are like, you're fat. And there was this, so this guy, he was like a heartthrob in the UK. He comes here, he gets a role and he's going to be like the hot guy. And there's a scene where he's supposed to take off his shirt. So like they're in the filming. So he takes off his shirt and the director's like, oh, yeah, we'll just keep your shirt on, because he has like a regular person's hot body rather than a Hollywood actor's hot body, which is not maintainable without a lot of stuff going on. And it was really interesting, right? The ways in which these people who are like, they're like hot actors in the UK were considered too fat in the US. I mean, if they were funny fat, that would have been one thing, but they were like, you know, we can't see your abs. So sorry. And how it sort of put a lot of these folks through a lot of like stress and struggle, right? Because they weren't considered Hollywood hot, and they'd always been hot. Now, please note, I'm sure you're thinking, wow, I don't feel bad for them. I feel bad for people being body shamed and being forced into having eating disorders, no matter what they look like, you know? As Krellin points out, people who aren't dehydrated don't have abs. Yeah. Basically, they need the body where your job is to maintain your body. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And Jonah Hill couldn't find work when he lost some weight. It's true, right? And so it's really sort of complicated. And I mean, you need abs so that you can move your core, but you don't need to see them. You know what I mean? You don't need to see them. That's not what you need. Yeah. So it's really interesting to sort of think about what bodies look like, what a fit body looks like, and actually, I think that our body standards are we are just more. Oh, Takirash, I'm starting right now. You don't even know. Right now, because we've been chatting. Yeah, it's okay. We have sound. I'm so excited. This is Telling Lies by the people who did Her Story. I don't have a good I'm gonna stab a person. Yes. And we don't have ooh. And I don't have a good content warning, but I know it's a thriller and I know something bad happens that links all four people. So expect bad things. Karen's gonna die. Love. Oh. Hey, am I Karen? Yeah, I'm so excited. I think I'm Karen, everybody, because I can see my reflection. You're seeing my reflection. I'm Karen. She's done a search for love. Bookmarks. No bookmarks. Yeah, I'm very excited. No history. Look, before we database server. Oh my gosh. Hey everybody, I'm so excited right now for this game. So apparently one of the things that doesn't get talked about in World War II is the use of stimulant drugs in war. Oh yeah. Where previously soldiers were issued alcohol, Germany was issuing pharmaceuticals to perform military maneuvers at a previously unimaginable scale. I know I should do it. Yeah, okay, I'll do it. I'll click search. Also, look, there's an external drive is she just carrying this external drive around with her? I'm just worried. Okay, let's search for love. 34 records matched. Results limited to 5. I'm incapable. So before we look at these videos, I think we should look at some other things. Like, what's Welcome to Castle? All people are incapable of multitasking, technically. Our brains are single core. What if I got another brain and mashed it inside of this brain? Okay, they'd be bruised like a peach. Probably would be bad. And yeah, the Blitzkrieg ran on meth. Well, Elvis got addicted to speed when he was in the army because people would take speed in the army. People would take speed making movies. There's a lot of cocaine in the Judy Garland was such a mess because her film company gave her speed so she could work insane hours and then barbiturates so she could sleep in the evening. Like, there's a lot of our work that has historically been fueled by drugs. Crone's like, that would hurt and probably be fatal. My house, come on. Come on to my house, come on. Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you candy. Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you everything. You just reminded me that I need water. I just remembered that I need water. So we're gonna do that. I don't think a mashed brain is quite like a bruised peach. Maybe not. Maybe. Speak for yourself, single brains. Levi says, Iffy, there's a lot of conjecture that Hitler was a habitual methamphetamine user. There's an interesting video of him during a parade where he looks like he can't stop moving. Interesting. Thank you for the hostess, Stenny. Welcome, and we're just starting this brand new game. We were talking about 80s movies, and now we're gonna, play this game. Fighter pilots still get stimulants. Yep. Speed is used as a dieting aid too. So yeah. Esteni. Hey, Esteni, can I tell you something? Esteni, I think you're the bee's knees. I think you're the tops. I think that you are the Colosseum. And if people are not following Esteni, they should totally follow Esteni, because Esteni is great. Yes. Iffy says, so there was an article I read where they came to the realization that people in power after the war were still using stims, so much so that the person interviewed in the story, some general I think, didn't want to talk about it anymore because it sounded like that particular drug in question was being used. Ooh, interesting. Esteni, you're the top, you're the Colosseum, you're the top. You're the Louvre Museum. You're the nimble tread on the feet of Fred Astaire. You're the National Gallery or Garbo's Salary or Camembert. You're the Nile. You're the Tower of Pisa. You're the smile on the Mona Lisa. I'm a worthless check, a humble rep, a flop. But if, baby, I'm the bottom, you're the top. You're the top. You're a new beginning. You're the top. You're like the seventh inning. You're the... I can't remember the rest of it. I can't remember it all. What do you call walking around while listening to music while reading books? Oh, she's doing her emotes? Oh, so cool. So... You know, what's interesting is that I tell my students, so my students often want, so I teach music classes and my students need to listen to music for every class session, usually about around 6 to 8 songs. And what I tell my students is I say, look, I know that you're used to multitasking and you're going to want to listen to the music for the class while doing other things, but please don't. I ask you very much not to do that, because if you're multitasking, listening to music while you're doing other things, you're not really listening to the music. And what I really want people to do for the class is to actually just sit down and just listen to the music and really listen, for real listen, and with concentration and with attention to detail. And that is not a thing you can do while you're multitasking, really. Yeah. Oh, as Krellin says, you're probably not listening to the music, you're hearing the music, and that is not the same. So let's find out. Welcome to Castle OS. Castle is an open source operating system that aims to preserve your privacy and anonymity. It's booted from external media and comes with several built-in applications pre-configured with security in mind. You should follow the instructions within this documentation, avoid installing third-party software, and heed any warnings that the software presents you. Well, this is suspicious. System requirements, either an internal or external DVD reader or the possibility to boot from a USB stick or an SD card. Castle requires a 64-bit compatible processor, 2 gig of RAM to work correctly. Castle can work on less RAM, but you may experience adverse issues. Use anywhere but leave no trace. Using Castle on a computer doesn't alter or make use of the operating system installed on it, so you can use it in the same way on your computer, a friend's computer, or at your local library. After shutting down Castle, the computer will start again with its usual operating system. Castle is configured with special care to not use the computer's hard disks, even if there is some swap space on them. The only storage space used by Castle is in RAM, which is automatically erased when the computer shuts down, so you won't leave any trace on the computer itself of the Castle system itself or what you used it for. This allows you to work with sensitive documents on any computer and protects you from data recovery after shutdown. Of course, you can still explicitly save specific documents to another USB stick or external hard disk and take them away for future use. Yeah, Karen's twitching and the monitor reflection is distracting. I think that once you know that's how you know that she's live. I bet it does anything but all lies. It's a Linux live distro. There was a specific scientist connected to the research that led to the formulation of that drug. The industry stayed in business. It makes me suspicious that the world as we know it was built and may possibly still be run on people force themselves into productivity with pharmaceuticals. Oh, iffy. A lot of people do not have ADHD and take Adderall so that they can for productivity. Like that was what part of that whole sort of, there's a whole scandal for kids wanting to get into Harvard and like getting fake prescriptions for ADHD so they can get Adderall. Like a lot of people are running around, you know, hopped up, and they may not even be hopped up on illegal drugs. I mean, there was that whole they made, what was it they got rid of? Guarana, the stuff that was in a lot of like what's it called? Guarana? It was in like some energy drinks. They made that illegal. So like there's a lot of like natural stimulants that people take all the time. Yeah. I said it correctly, right? Yes. I think they made that illegal now, right? Warnings. Castle does not protect against compromised hardware. Avoid use on untrusted systems. Castle does not encrypt documents by default. Castle doesn't encrypt the subject or other headers of your encrypted emails. Castle doesn't magically separate your different contextual identities. So, yeah, stimulant law is hilarious when you consider caffeine. Yep. So, and caffeine pills. So I'm going to just note, I'm going to take this as a clue. Castle doesn't magically separate your different contextual identities. That to me seems like a clue. Also, what's in the trash? Desktop pics. Let's find out what these pictures are. Caffeine, the gateway drug to hard stimulants, like Red Bull. So terribly sad, which is an awful advantage for people like me coming from minority communities into a high-cost university. Yeah. Oh. Huh. We'll have to come back to that. But you know what? A lot of those people who are getting the fake drug prescriptions are people with money, right? I'm sorry, you made me leave my damn coffee. Oh, this is, yeah. Oh, the first one? It's a great painting, isn't it? Yeah. And this last one? So, I feel like I need to know what these paintings are because that might give us a clue. Yeah, so so clearly that's Yoink JPG. You think the barmaid's in a mirror, but there's another mirror. Oh. Huh. Like the barmaid is in the mirror, but there's another mirror, and it shows her serving someone, but she isn't. It's no coincidence that coffee and tea arrived in Europe right when the Renaissance started. Yeah. So I want to know who did this. I want to know the artists. I want to know the artists because I feel like these are also clues. Everything is a clue. Just telling you, everything is a clue. Maybe it's from the point of view that yes. Simple memo. Nothing there, but we can type. Oh, we can take notes. Manet. Ooh. Okay. Oh, we are not playing solitaire right now, people. Even if I want to, we're not going to do it. Hardware, sound, music subtitles. That's fine. Just on the mirror. Everything's a clue. Me, you, everything. I think that's true. Okay. All right. Well. Okay. A bar at the Folie Berger. Too many clues. Iffy, thank you. I'm going to copy this link. Copy link location. We're going to have to look up these things because also Iffy's going to know this because Iffy is an artist. Because I bet they're clues and we have to figure it out. So we've got 5 records. Let's check them out. See what we got. Oh, I didn't tell you. By the way, we have a giveaway today, and the giveaway is Shenmue 1 and 2. Famous JRPG. Everyone wants Shenmue 3. I'm not sure about the other one. So, okay, folks, here's our, yes. I love how coffee got from France to Colombia. Basically, a captain seduced the Queen of France and got a single clipping from her and smuggled it out. He made a fortune. I'm just saying. All right, so we know this one. I think, congrats, Krellin. I want to identify, do you think, sorry, this is like clue searching. What do you think would happen if I do a search on the internet for this file name? LAFO 9432 ASEINQ.jpg. No. Oh, no, I don't. That's not what I want. Hold on. Because if Karen is on the internet, although it may not be Karen, right? Because the do eat, it's like te. It's te, like from one part it's chai. You can figure out whether tea is introduced somewhere by Eastern or Southern China based on their name for tea. Oh. So this, it's not there. The first two are both Manet. Let's see. Hello, Manet. Oh, yes. Okay, this one is... tell me something about this one. We're gonna have to find out. This is Luncheon on the Grass. All right, hold on. Hey, we have a simple memo. So the first one is a bar. I don't know if we need this, but we might. At the Folie Bergère. 2 is Luncheon on the Grass. And 3 we don't know yet. Oh. This is why the foxhole is the best ever. The foxhole is the best. Yeah, okay, that's right. Lunch on the Grass. And then we have that last one, which is... don't look at me. I'm too working class for this nonsense. You know, I feel like Iffy's pretty working class. This one here. What do we think? This could be Manet. We're looking for maybe... Oh, it is. This is also Manet, and this is... What painting is this? This is The Railway. Yep. Okay. Found it, everybody. In case... The Railway. And all of these are by Manet. There's going to be research happening, people, because these games are always very sort of tricky. And we're going to just say... Right? I'm just saying they're probably clues. Paintings in trash. Community college art history. Hey, Iffy, which community college did you go to? I don't understand what this game is at all. So you have to save the memo to the external hard drive. Maybe, probably, yes. Yeah, we just saved it to the hard drive, so we're good there. Okay, so no one can find out our business. Oh, pardon me. All right. Power source, we're good. Whoop. Okay, we're good there. Wi-Fi on. Nearest to a bow tie I ever got was that fancy pasta. Hey, I made a bow tie in high school. Oh, sir, in a town, Cerritos. After not making it New York, why would you want to be in New York? So we are connected to KAS532, which is probably Karen. There's Starbucks, Deborah Home, Pumpkin Pie Fi. Guess my password, Loki, Deborah Home. All right. Okay. Well, let's So these are all in chronological order. We've got 3 on the 15th, 1 on the 23rd, 1 on the 29th. Remember these things because these things probably matter. They probably matter. Let's see. Let's
I've only ever been in love once. It's with a girl I met when I was 18, but I was too young and naive to handle it properly. And I guess I still carry a torch for it, which makes me an incurable romantic or underdeveloped emotionally. I'm a loyal friend.
Creepy. Just the way he says it and stares is creepy.
I like girls with nice smiles.
What is this? Who are you?
Nice smiles.
Yeah.
Well, the psych profile says so.
Wait. Says what? Who are you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like horoscopes and everything.
Oh, you're talking to somebody. You're video chatting. Okay. There's a conversation going on. I see.
I am going to decorate an apartment.
Yes, Krellin. Oh, okay. 309. What's this? Video playback in Retina. Click and drag the screen to scrub forwards and backwards through video records at different speeds. Click and drag on subtitles to select words and phrases to search again for quick reference. Education is definitely not something everyone does, but like it has not solved everything in my life. I like what is this? Bookmark added. Oh, I don't think I wanted to do that. Well, oh well. I would like. I didn't mean. Can I unbookmark it?
I've only ever been in love once.
I just want to. Oh wait.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hold on. Now I see how this works. No, I don't. I want to unbookmark it. It's fine. It's fine. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. So this is what I'm going to do, everybody. This is my thought. I don't want to bookmark this, but I want to go to art school someday, much later on. You know, art school helps you get your stuff done. So and actually, I'm sure Iffy can probably talk to you about that. So here's my thought. We go and watch all of them. I would like to take the bookmark off, basically. Oh, we can do that here. Let me get rid of these bookmarks. Okay, so what I'm going to do is watch all 5 of them together with us. We'll think about it, get it as an overview, right? Watch all 5 at once, get an overview, and then come back in on them. So who's this? Same guy. Oh. Okay. Hold on. There's a love you. What is that? This is the same day, a little bit. No. Hold on. So this is 1 p.m. And this is. But this is 4:25, which seems like a length of video. But we're not getting. Oh, hey. There's more video here. Oh, this is interesting. This is interesting. So we're not necessarily getting the whole video. Mm-hmm. I wish you could just
Yes. Exactly.
speed through it. you know? But it's fine. We're just going to rewind to get to the beginning of this video because clearly there's stuff going on. A lot of them are pricey, but when you love art, you dive into them anyway. Lower division courses in community college can get you started on fundamentals, but you might get frustrated with their pace depending on what you want to learn. Yeah, I mean, community colleges are great. They're really good. I mean, I suppose some might be bad, but I was in California where we have a lot of really good community colleges. So this is that same person. We're getting to the beginning of it, so you know, what is? And did we miss anything in that first video? Now I'm a little suspicious. We might have missed things, and that makes me suspicious. Okay, let's start from the beginning.
Hey, babe. Oh, okay, get in here.
Wait, this is this
Give that big hug.
same day as the other one.
Hi.
Hi.
No, I'm at my baddie apartment, remember?
Maybe a kid? Kid.
What, this here? This itchy, scritchy, scratchy? Yeah, I'm scratchy, itchy, tickle, tickle, tickle. How you doing? How was your day? Tell me.
It is creepy and suspicious. So I think this is a kid. Yeah. This is a young person.
You did?
I'm suspicious.
Okay.
For more digital art things, there are resources online, but I've not navigated this.
Where are we going?
I have a good place. I know a good place. Control Art Paint is a good one for digital stuff.
Okay. I can't wait. 1 sec, all right?
Yeah, I'm really interested to see where this is going to go.
Here I come. Hi. No. You can't die from that. It just means that you're growing up.
Okay, kid.
Getting bigger and stronger. And when the tooth falls out, okay? No. Listen. When that tooth falls out, the tooth fairy's gonna come and she's gonna give you money for it. Yeah, you never heard of the tooth fairy? The fairy that comes at night while you're asleep.
So we're gonna. By the way, hold on.
Yeah, you never heard of...
I want to see if I can just put tooth in there, right? Okay.
The fairy that comes at night while you're asleep, and she takes your old tooth from under your pillow and she swaps it for money. Well, okay, look, if you don't, she'll only come if you want her to come. And if you do, then here's what you gotta do, all right? You gotta put your old tooth under your pillow and then write her the sweetest note, okay?
Are you suspicious?
Yes, exactly. It's like Santa, but for teeth. Hey, where's your mom? Will you go get her for me?
Yeah, who's this mom?
Take me anywhere.
But he said he was only in love once? So what does that mean? Right? Like, what's going on? So, we need to go back to that first video to make sure we don't miss anything.
Hey, I miss you.
Really?
No, I miss you. Hey, what do you think of the new apartment?
Sister?
Oh, but I've upgraded to a futon.
People.
Yeah, except they neglected to mention all of the furniture assembly at Quantico. Left that part out. By the way, if you needed,
Quantico.
say 17 Allen wrenches, I've got them. So you just let me know.
Quantico.
Yeah. What about your desk?
Yeah. I'm going to go teeth, tooth, Quantico. We're looking for keywords. Yeah, Quantico teeth are keywords, I think. I'm suspicious. That's bad. Quantico's where the FBI trains. Does that tell us anything?
Yeah.
FBI?
Come with that. Okay. Love you.
So who is this person? Is this person... All right, I'm going to go back up to this one because I don't think we watched the whole thing. Right? What does this one match here do? What is that?
I've only ever...
Yeah, I don't... Oh, I see what's happening. No, I see what's happening. I see what's going on now. We're not getting the whole video because we type on the word love and it brings us to the part in the video where the word love happens. Right? So there's a whole video that we haven't seen, but it just clicks us to immediately where the word love happens. So, okay. All right.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. How about Evil Queen?
I feel like this same day.
So what? I'm supposed to just call you Mike? Come on.
Mike?
Well, I'm kind of going for a screw, right? It's my new A squared vibe. Okay. I am David Jones.
David Jones. I'm taking
28,
notes.
which is pushing it. But beards and t-shirts are a good look on me. I grew up in Detroit, but
Good night, Atomica.
my parents died and bummed around a bit.
Detroit.
Grew up fast, had fun, and ended up in LA where I sold t-shirts on a boardwalk in Venice. And without meaning to, I became a producer at a video company making schlocky movies, but I made a decent earning. And last year, a good friend of mine died from an accident. And I decided that I was going to start taking things a little more seriously. I decided that I wanted to help make the world a better place. So I moved back here to Ann Arbor to reconnect with a younger, more pure version of myself and also get away from all the bad influences who had my number in California. I think to not be directly engaged in fighting for environmental causes today is a kind of moral cowardice. I mean, it's easy to forget that the rest of the world exists when you're in LA, but out here, you can reach out and you can touch it. I've only ever been in love once.
What is this conversation coming from?
Girl I met when I was 18, but I was too young and naive to handle it properly. And I guess I still carry the torch for it. Which makes me an incurable romantic or underdeveloped emotionally. I'm a loyal friend.
He's discussing his new identity, going over it with whoever gave him the paperwork? Maybe? Yes?
I like girls with nice smiles. Nice smiles.
This is weird right here, don't you think? I'm writing notes, by the way.
Well, the psych profile says so.
Yeah, what is that? Like, what is this? What is this?
Yeah, like horoscopes never wrong.
So there's a conversation that is happening right now that is very clearly... Yeah. Oh, uh-huh. The new profile likes nice smiles. Uh-huh. Yes.
I am going to decorate an apartment.
Okay. Are we thinking that this whole, like, I was a producer, sold t-shirts and all of that is a cover identity? That's not who he really is? Do we think? Do we think that that is all that he's actually an FBI agent and that's his cover? Yeah, he's practicing being his new person. Yeah. Imagine having to type love and it cuts right to where love happens in real life. Speed parsing instead of speed dating for the speed parsing inclined. Yeah, I think, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, right? That this whole thing is him practicing. So if you look, this is the 15th of August. Him practicing his new identity. This is probably him in his real life self talking to family. Like I'm thinking like a sister and nephew or niece. The evil queen. Yeah. And I'm going to write down evil queen as well. We're just writing down some words. We're going to see what we got. Let's see what this one is. So this is the same day, but earlier. Oh, I should have played this one before this one. It's fine. So this one here happens in between these two. Maybe it is Mike's call sign. I wish there was some way to fast forward to the beginning. Is there? You can drag. I wonder if there's a way to... No? All right, we're going that way. Yeah, evil queen is a keyword. Yeah, we're going to have to come back to that one, Levi, because, you know, right? Like, I think we're going to have to come back to that one. It's a thing we're going to have to ponder. I wonder if there's a way to fast forward. Okay, we got a kid. All right, we're gonna get the... Okay, we're getting the other side of this conversation. All right, okay. We're gonna see more about what's going on here. Cute kid. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna find out what's going on here. This is very. We get the at least we get the other half of this conversation, so that's exciting. Here we go.
Dada, I missed you already. Hi.
Dada. Okay, wife and kid. Mm-hmm.
Are you still on the plane?
Definitely undercover work. Definitely.
All the guys have this.
Uh-huh.
You're so prickly. Today was good and bad. Today at camp, I found a crazy bug. Emily said it was gross, but I picked it up. We found treasure and put it in my good pocket. Then when I came home, I hid it under my bed. My tooth hurt though. I had to sit with the camp nurse all day. It was so bad it was bleeding. Since it was vacation, we had a movie night. We watched Sleeping Beauty and built a bed on the sofa.
Yeah.
Come inside.
Yeah, I think you... Yeah, undercover identity. Definitely. Definitely. Yeah, apparently I'm a baddie. No. Why are you thinking about death, little one?
I want it to fall out.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's FBI. Yeah, watching 8 Sins of Burnout is paid off.
The tooth fairy?
Tooth Fairy. I want to know who Karen is, who this woman is who's looking at these files. Who is she?
What did she do with the teeth? How did she even get into my room?
Like, I'm just saying, he's totally... Quantico, he's FBI. He's FBI. I'm telling you. Maybe she is a stalker. I don't know. Maybe she's an FBI agent?
Like Santa, but for teeth.
But why would she have his video file to his family?
She's in the bathroom. I'll take you.
Maybe some sort of Navy intelligence. They have stuff in Quantico as well, don't they? Maybe? Because she's a hacker stalker. She could be a hacker stalker. Hello.
Mama, it's Daddy!
Yep. Now we know.
Here he is.
So this is Carrie Bechet, and she's an actor who's famous, but I don't know where I know her from. What do I know her from?
You missed the beach. Oh my god. Looks just like your place on Kinsey Street. You had that mattress on the floor. I was sure you were a serial killer.
Yeah, Carrie Bechet. So, like, where is she from?
Oh, well, the glamorous life of a super spy.
Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. But there are gonna be twists and turns.
Right.
Oh. But where else do I know her, Krellin? Where else do I know her from?
Well, I got Alba ready for camp. Made her a spectacular lunch. No PB&J, otherwise she has to sit at the peanut table. At work, I pulled a messy code blue back from the brink and administered a sub-Q insulin that my patient didn't even feel. Picked Alba up, made her dinner, soup, because her tooth hurts.
Maybe Narcos?
And then we had to watch a Disney princess movie because Mama sent us the damn box set. Hey, can I call you back after Alba goes down? It's late. I gotta get her in the bath. Alright, love you.
IMDb. Okay, alright. Oh, come here. Telling lies. There we go. And there we go. And then we have one Argo Red State. I don't know what we've seen. Oh, hold on. Thank you. I'm going to copy this link location, and then I'm going to put it up there, and I'm going to figure out what it is that I know her from. Because I know her from something. So, who is Carrie Bechet? I know her from, let's see, Telling Lies, Halt and Catch Fire. That's where I know her from. I know her from Halt and Catch Fire. She was the wife in Halt and Catch Fire. That's where I know her from. She was very good, by the way. She was very good in that show. I recommend it. Yes, Krellin, Halt and Catch Fire. That was the one. I will see you when you get back. So let's look at this. So this is now. So it looks like the 15th is when he arrives at his new job, and so it looks like the 15th is when he arrives for his undercover job in Ann Arbor. And here we have a new video. Let's see. Okay, so now we don't know who this person is. We don't know what they're about. So, you know what I mean? I have some questions about all of that. But you know what I should probably do? I should probably pay attention to words they use in the very beginning of the video so I can just do a search and get there real fast. I should probably do that, but I didn't. That's all. Why couldn't she have been a Smith or a Jones, right? It's true. It's true. All right, let's see what this one is. Who are you? What is this about? What is going on here? Because you are dressed all fancy, like you have a secret. Perhaps Victoria's Secret. By the way, I just want you to know that I'm going to, what's the word? I'm going to do a giveaway, but not right now. I Googled Boucher and it still figured it out for me. Krellin, you have amazing Google Foo. It's sort of inappropriate how good your Google Foo is. Well, this person's getting a lot of messages. Who is this person? I don't want to fast forward it because I'm afraid that something will happen. Why do I have a bit of a woman? See, I'm just telling you, I have questions, right? Like where did these videos come from? Does she have an accent? Prince Charming 81. Questionable.
Wanted to make sure I was okay.
Sylvan the Tooth Fairy's a villain? Makes sense.
It's today's show. For all my fans with the Sleeping Beauty thing.
Oh, she's a cam girl?
You too, judging by your screen name.
She might have a Twitch category, Sleeping Girl. Tooth Fairy, is it?
No, I hadn't fainted. This is my favorite king. I get my beauty sleep and I get paid.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
You know, in France we say the sleeping beauty has no soul. What do you think this means?
I'm writing down code words, everybody. Just in case.
So you prefer a woman with soul? Sure, share away. But if you do anything gross, I kick you out. You are not that kind of guy, are you?
What is the...
Oh. You're not that kind of guy at all.
What is he sharing?
I just mean, you're not the kind of guy who has trouble getting a date.
What is this about? I'm just...
I love complicated men.
Yeah, she's some kind of cam girl, right?
So,
Hey, Balek. This is a video game
what is on the menu?
where we're going through people's video footage. We're trying to solve a mystery, but we don't know the mystery, what it is yet.
A talker. Well, I can look at both. So,
Right now we have an FBI agent, we
what
think.
made you pick me?
We've got an FBI agent, we think. We don't know who she is. She's a cam girl of some sort? I need an adult. You'll be fine, Abalek.
You like your girls a little gothic.
There's a French girl who likes to sleep on stream. That's what we got. And we've got an FBI agent, we presume.
Snow White evokes something a little dark.
So it's Twitch.
Shorthand for asphyxiation or sleep fantasy.
Is it really?
You know, I have a kinky side,
That's nice.
don't you?
Yeah, we have a bunch of one-sided video chats. We're trying to figure out what's going on.
What do you do, Prince Charming?
Hey, Falcon.
Short for work? You have
French. French.
Serious eyes, but I see something a little wild inside.
She's trying to work this guy, but I don't know who this guy is. It was the cam girl with the table lamp in the futon room. Solved. What's going on?
Wanna say something? Tell me.
He's gonna tell her something. What? A secret? What did he show her? Yeah. See, start saying there's a bunch of fairy tale stuff going on, right? Evil Queen, that was one. Evil Queen, Prince Charming, Tooth Fairy.
Really?
Sleeping Beauty,
Well, how do I know you're telling the truth?
Snow White. So that's like 5 references right there to sort of mythological fairy tale things. This giant beanstalk. Snow White. Yeah.
And they're always honest with sex workers, even in real life. They save their lives for the people that matter, their wives, their bosses. You are married. You know, there are other things we can talk about that you wouldn't say to your wife. Your session is almost over and we haven't even fooled around yet. You like to fool around?
I think he just wants to talk with you, actually.
boss.
Sleeping.
Maybe come back some other time.
Sleeping Beauty.
I like you.
Of course you're going to say that.
Goodbye, my prince.
Who do you think this is? Okay. People, there's... All right. We have one more in this group of 5. And this is now... So that was a week later, and this is 6 days later, almost a week again. And let's see. Oh, 2 matches. That's fine. Let's see if we can rewind and see what we can get, what we find here. It's she's a homewrecker. She's no homewrecker. She's just hanging out. She's just doing her thing. Also, I think I know this actor, but I have no idea where I know her from at all. At all. But I've seen her before, I feel like. I feel like I've seen her before. Actually, I feel like I've seen that other guy, too. I feel like I've seen... I don't think I've seen the French woman, but I feel like I've seen the other 2. Maybe he was checking with another agent who was trying to bust human traffickers. Maybe this is about human trafficking. I think she's a Russian infiltrator trying to gain intel on the FBI with a French cover story. Hey. Who are you? I need some...
Oh, wow.
I'm getting the cast.
Must be worth something. And that doesn't change the way it sounds. Okay. I believe that you are a music nerd who has great taste,
Music.
but I still don't entirely trust you.
Okay. Oh, the most recent storm. Thank you. Thank you. That's where I know her from.
Chinese is my favorite food. Oh. Hey, and your apartment is great. It's very clean and empty.
Clean and empty. Suspicious.
Wait, this is weird.
What?
Where are your hands? Please keep your hands in view at all times. There we go.
I think the guy was in
I'm just about to lock up.
24
I hate this bit.
Hotel.
No, I don't mind that. I don't like the dark. It's creepy when it's just me. Ha.
I'm suspicious.
Okay. Okay.
Why is everybody chatting with a laptop?
Keys.
Maybe it's a phone. It feels like a laptop.
All right. 1, 2, 3. When I turn this last one off, it goes completely dark. 4. Okay.
Oh, there's a disco ball. That's nice.
By the light
Of the silvery moon, I want to spoon. Wait.
To my honey I'll croon love's tune.
Record store.
Honeymoon.
Keep a shining in June.
Your silvery beams will bring.
She's Armenian American.
dreams
Oh.
will be cuddling soon by the silvery moon.
Maybe they're tablets. I bet they're tablets. That would make sense.
Funny. I only sing when I'm in the dark or in the bath. Maybe.
Unless they're not on their phone. They might be on their tablets, right? Oh, that song is an old... That's a song from the 20s. By the light of the silvery moon. It's a 20s, Tim Penale 20s song. Let's put that down there. Silvery moon. Okay. So... Oh. So they've got a cast, didn't they, huh? Oh, wow. Alexandra Ship. Oh, I see. Wow. Okay, Westworld. Yeah. Okay. So also she was in American Horror Story. So they got like a real cast for this one, didn't they? So we can make bookmarks, but I don't think we will. Let's do a search. I think it's a design field that we're thinking about what she's using to film instead of what we're filming. But I'm a rude boy. So I think we should look for... okay. I think we should look for... I want to do a quick search for Quantico. I don't think we'll get a lot of things, but... yeah, so just that one, so that's fine. I think we should do Mike. Right? I think we should do Mike. Or David. We'll do David, because that's his keyword, right? I didn't mention one of Ms. Safarin's other TV roles because they're mostly singular. Oh, I see. Oh, you're right. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Hey, look, we got a lot of hits on David, everybody. We got a lot of hits on David. Score. You know what? Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you. We're going to do our giveaway. Can I do my giveaway here? I think we can. Yeah, we can. So here's what's what. I'm going to do a giveaway in like 5 minutes or so. So just make sure you say something in the next 5 minutes, and then you'll be entered to win Shenmue. Shenmue? 1 and 2. Together, both. So clearly David, by the way, was a good keyword. David was a good keyword. And I think, yes. So they just remodeled the UI for her story, showed a new story of clips to set in, and then set it up. Easy game to make, lazy work. And also, but gotta get all those actors. I used to listen to a lot of Say Anything. Good band. I suppose I don't want more than 5 results, but we know that there's a lot here. So let's see what this is. So we've got more things on the 15th, which we think is his first day. So let's see what we have. And I'm interested in this bookmarking, like when we want to do it. But let's see what we got. Oh, Falcon. Well, this sort of a game starts with us being in confusion, right? All we know is that some person is viewing all this video footage. We don't know how they got it, but we're going to learn things slowly. We think this guy's an FBI agent.
Good. Yeah.
I think he's talking to his wife.
I made contact today and bought some music.
Oh.
Did you know that Iggy Pop's named after his first band, the Iguanas? His real name's James.
Music. Is that woman his contact? Maybe.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Hello, Isabella.
Isabella. We're looking for keywords to search.
You hypnotized.
I read the first 2 sentences of the game's plot summary on Wikipedia and have been spoiled now. Really? I have not looked at Wikipedia.
David. Okay.
What's going on here? I don't think his wife is named Isabella.
What do
I think he's talking a little sexy with his wife. FBI, right? Quantico, FBI, right?
Okay.
I think he's talking to his wife and they're having some role play sexy time. Is what I'm thinking. In his gross new apartment.
Okay.
But why is he not on a futon? Oh, he's getting naked. I looked up Wikipedia and it had very much to say about this game. It didn't have much to say, but I did learn about Life Day. Life Day is important. What's going on? Oh, kid walked in, I bet.
Hey, honey.
Yeah, kid walked in.
Oh, look. Oh, that kid is gonna fall out any day now. How you doing?
Daytime soaps
That's what we thought.
are sexier. So his contact, I think, is the woman Storm.
Oh, really? Well, I mean, it was just a nightmare. That's
Oh,
all.
oh,
Nothing to be scared about.
no sexy time.
Are you brave? Yeah, I'm right here.
Is it? I just. Is he? I'm worried about his security if he's talking. If we're watching these videos, that's all. Daytime soaps are very saucy, by the way. Nowadays. I don't know how many there are left. There are not that many. We still have Karen in the background. I'm worried. I'm worried. Well, the only good soap, Passions, went off the air. Oh, that was the one that had all like the demon possession, right? Witchcraft, Passions. Mm-hmm. Oh, he looks very familiar to me. You know he looks like the guy who was Venom, but I know he's not. But he looks like that guy. We could be an analyst going through his records. Uh-huh. Jer, I like the idea. Or a fellow FBI agent. Maybe he gets killed and we're trying to figure out what happened. What if he dies and we're trying to find out what happened? Right? I'm just saying. He was the first Shocker in Spider-Man Homecoming, which you didn't watch. I need to watch it, by the way. I need to watch the Spider-Man movies, the new ones, because I hear they're very good. Because I've heard good things about them, actually. Because I didn't like how he was used in Avengers Civil War. It really felt shoehorned in a way that didn't feel very organic, but... Oh, what are you thinking about? What was that? He heard something that disturbed him. Oh, he's not Spider-Man anymore? Now he's Spider-Man? Oh. Okay, that was a little mysterious. That was a long time of him listening. All right, so here's the September the 8th, 3 p.m. Let's see what we have going on here. He's doing environmental stuff?
Oh, hey. Nice to see you again. Thank you. Yeah. We didn't scare you
Silver Ridge. That guy's name is John.
Help yourself. We'll start back up again at 5 on the Prosper and push. We're calling shareholders to ask them to invest in the people of the River Valley.
Great. Okay.
See ya.
Thank you.
Hey.
Hey, you know, I've been out to Chinese food every single day this week.
John.
Oh, yeah, I thought you would have come by the store to check up on your order.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's gonna take a little while. I had to order it from England just to get the perfect coffee.
Wow, extra authentic. Would you give me some coffee?
Yeah.
Did you know Pop, he recorded that in London?
And then your namesake mixed it here in LA.
I'm gonna go search for Isabella.
Twice now?
You are an expert.
Yeah, Jer.
No thanks. Actually, I looked it up when I ordered it for you.
Oh, I see. Didn't want me to out-trivia.
No. Well, why didn't you just order it off the internet?
That's more fashion. You gotta support your local record store. They turn into Starbucks.
Wait, who do you think supplies the coffee here? It's a community gesture.
If I were to, like, just dunk.
This is the record store person.
You like to dunk your cookies?
I don't know about this.
Would you like to get a drink somewhere?
Like right now.
No, I mean like sometime.
Like drink, or like we're gonna call Prosper and investors boring.
I mean, sure, we could call some investors, but I was thinking more of a drink. There's this old man bar, the tavern. They have this jukebox filled with giant albums.
So,
I'm writing words down.
Yeah, I'll call you. I remember.
all right.
I made a bad choice. I started putting the keywords right in the center, and I should have put it on one side, but you know. People! Okay, so is she the contact? Is she the person he's like spying on? But clearly his identity has to do with environmentalism. Let's give away Shenmue while we're like pondering this mystery. And we need to go get Isabella to get the other end of this result, but we should do that. Yes. And then we can find out what's going on. Yeah, just use the move tool. My mind is exploding. Here, hey, I want to give away Shenmue, Nightbot. Will you give us a winner? Jer! Hey, Jer, you've not won anything in a really, really, really long time. And it's Shenmue. No. Yeah, I agree with you, Iffy. I think that he is infiltrating the environmental group as part of the FBI, but I also think that he's, but he's supposed to meet her, the record store girl. So what is that about? All right, good. Jer, I'm going to whisper you. Whisper. I'm whispering you. Jer, it looks like you haven't won anything in over a year. There you go. I'm excited about that. Also, I really want to find out what the other half of that conversation is. I don't know if I should go and try to find out what the other half of the conversation is right now. Yeah. I think the Ava thing is unrelated and an extramarital affair. Oh, Iffy, that's entirely possible. That's impossible. Or it might be related, but it could be an extramarital affair. Because I think he admitted that he was an FBI agent to her. Do you know what I mean? Like, it sounded like he actually admitted that he was an FBI agent. Look, that's David. I think we're going to go and actually search for Isabella because I want to know what that other end of that conversation was right now. And then we can come back to David. Oh, hey, there are a lot of Isabellas here. Oh, Isabella happens more than once. So let's go back to David and then we'll follow Isabella up. Yeah. So actually, I think I'm taking notes. If you think of good keywords, you should tell me. And let's go here.
No.
So let's figure out, yeah. So they clearly crafted a persona for him that would help him get in contact with Record Store Girl? Do they think that she's a terrorist? What do we think is happening? Get all the hits. I don't know. I think maybe you're right, Iffy, that Ava's unrelated. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, keyword John too. Definitely. Bodega is a good keyword, not for this, just in general. So now he's listening. Why? FBI's always out to get the hippies. But I know. I see that Illuminati. Iffy. That Illuminati mess. Who plays Karen? I'm not going to look. All I know about the game is that it's about 4 people connected by some sort of shocking event. That's all I know. But clearly there's FBI going on. I used to get the best hoagies from a bodega in Billiesburg down at NYC. Ooh. Do you think he's listening to his daughter right now? No. This is work related, I imagine. Maybe? I feel like this is dangerous. Oh, Kulan. Go to sleep. We'll find out what's going on with this. Can you play? I can. Let's see. We can go a little bit faster. I wonder if this is him looking at the French woman.
No, I'm happy to just stop.
It is. Yeah. People. No. Yeah, so I think this is the video where he's talking to the woman, the French woman.
No, I'm happy to just stop.
Yeah, this is the French woman. This is the video of him talking to the French woman. We're gonna see. That's what this video is. I feel like HR does know who Karen is. Yeah, Iffy, I think you're right. Yeah.
Sorry. No, you can call me David.
Yeah, this is him talking to her. That's what this is.
So what did you do before? Before camming, what did you do to make money? Yeah, very funny. Very, very funny. I'm being serious. Okay.
Now I want to see her part of the conversation again.
I'll tip you if you tell me.
I don't know. What? I think you're right, Iffy. I think this is an affair. I think this is not job related. But will it be his downfall? Because what if she's secretly a terrorist? Or a serial killer? I think you're right, Iffy. I think you're right. Are you nervous? Like somehow this is going to lead to his doom. I don't know how. But he's not being smart. Do you know what I mean? Like he's doing... I don't know. He's talking to his family and he's talking to this cam girl, and I feel when he's on a job, and I feel like it's a bad idea. I feel like you should not be running around talking to... I don't know. I don't know. I'm nervous. I think it's bad. Nobody listen to me.
I have to go.
Uh-oh. Oh. Okay, something happens. I feel like we should probably pay attention to these dates. But oh, this is her again, and we haven't seen this one. Let's see. Oh, okay, hold on. So this is a second meeting. Okay, this is a different time when she's meeting. Okay, this is not the same time as before. This is a different one. Okay. No, he didn't tell her much of anything, did he? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kieran is played by a minor actress who has, among other things, appeared on Game the Game. Oh. That's what I like about you, Krellin. You protect me from spoilers. Yeah, because he can't get Nookie because Kido keeps interrupting him and his wife. Fair. Or what if...
Hello, everybody.
Hello?
A big kiss for my regulars. Okay, house rules. Play nice. No porn gifs. No humiliation request.
Gifs.
Oh, and the tip menu and wish list is right there.
Maybe he
and
thinks...
no recording the show.
No recording the show?
That is it.
Clearly it was recorded.
Rules done. So, today
Clearly
I
recorded.
treated myself.
Two.
I watched a movie and got a pedicure. And if you want to treat yourself, I tell you all about it in private.
FBI scoffs at people can't grow rules.
The movie was Lady Eve. It is my favorite movie.
I don't know it.
Barbara Stanwyck.
Oh, yeah.
Is a stone cold killer.
Barbara Stanwyck's awesome. She's great.
You don't like black and white movies?
I like black and white movies.
Red Lord 55. I missed you too.
But the FBI has those recorded warnings about recording things.
Hi, Sandman Extra. Thank you.
Sandman.
Very kind.
Sandman.
Want to compliment us again?
Sandman is a mythological figure. Red Lord 55.
I remember you, the talker. Do you still want to just talk? Because there is talking, and then
I think she did.
there is talking.
Yeah, Red Lord 55.
You know, it's the really wild guys who say they just want to talk. I bet you've got something interesting happening down there. Let's see.
And then he says, nope, sorry.
Prince Charming really is a Boy Scout. Pleased to meet you, David.
Is this private?
Oh, excuse me. Oh, yes, I was
SOC
an
Sleeping Beauty,
astronaut. In France,
SAS, Tooth Fairy.
There are not many rockets, so I started coming instead. You asked too many questions, David. Most guys, they
Hey, crit twitch.
pop off.
I suppose, but like nobody's naked.
Okay, 50.
$50. $50. He tipped her $50. I like how she got a little like control.
Okay.
Okay.
I was a ballet teacher.
Huh? Ballet teacher? Ballet.
When I was a girl,
Ballet.
I was a part of the Paris Opera Ballet.
We're gonna ballet. Keyword.
I was a sugar plum in Nutcracker and Lilac Fairy in Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty, also fairy.
I was a good dancer, not good enough. I knew it would not be my vocation, so I tried to become a teacher.
I'm gonna write down teacher as well.
Tip me again, and I tell you about the time the Bolshoi Ballet visit, And I finger banged the prima ballerina, playing Giselle just to get inside her head. Like you are trying to get in my...
Max. She has a tattoo that says Max.
Oh, wait.
Okay, so I want to know what's going on. It's fine. That's it. Okay. We have some time left. We have so many searches, people. We should do Isabella. That was what we were planning on doing, Isabella, to see if we can get the other side of this conversation. So this looks like the matching video.
Mine.
It actually says Maxine. Oh. Let's find out.
How you feeling?
That's the wife. I should not watch the work laptop.
You know, it makes me cringe when you try and talk about music. Besides, you're off the clock now.
It's easier if I just listen and then added watch along, but not by a lot. You know this is not going to get dirty. Uh-oh.
Is Isabella. I am a very rich and extremely horny woman. I hire young men and then I hold them captive and I hypnotize them. Yes, I'm a mind vampire. That's how I made all my money. Now, you are... No, you are Alex.
Alex.
You are a business competitor of mine.
Alex.
I lured you to my castle, and now I'm going to have my way with you. Alex, are you sorry that you tried to mount an aggressive takeover of my business? Just terrible things. I'm going to use you for my pleasure, and you only come when I say so. Now, take off your shirt. Very nice.
Oh.
Now your pants.
This is where the kid comes in.
Slowly.
I like that they're a happy married couple.
Oh. Hi, sweetheart. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Come here. Oh, sweetheart, I'm sorry. Hey, we're gonna have to take a rain check.
Is that Daddy?
Yeah.
Dad!
Oh.
Hello, little one.
What do you say? You want me to put you to bed?
What? Can I sleep in bed with you?
Yeah, okay. All right, come on, sweetheart.
Aww.
Under these covers. All right, I'm just gonna go put my PJs on. Here we go. There you
I had a nightmare about the tooth fairy. She was big and looked like Mima's cat, the bitey one.
Oh. I've never called my grandmother Mima. Nana. I don't know, you know.
Here I come.
I don't know what you all called your grandparents.
Right, say goodnight to Daddy.
Nana and Grandpa.
Sleep with us, can't he?
Grandma.
All right. Close your eyes. There you go. Twinkle, twinkle.
Grandma and Grandpa.
Little star, how I
Mima is a thing. Yeah, but I just never...
up above the world so
They got good actors for this.
diamond in the sky.
There's a whole fairy tale thing going on here.
Little star.
I've only had one set. My mom's parents both died before I was born. Complicated. Mima grandparents. Complicated. Which region is Mima a thing? Abuelitas, but it's a thing. I think they're talking saucy. Oh. But I think this is complicated. Oh, Appalachians. Oh. I'll take it. Tell Stacy hello, by the way. Also, I don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah, Nana and Grandpa on the one side and Grandma and Grandpa on the other. So Sheldon Cooper from BBT called one Mima. Possibly Southern? Oh, yay. Okay, will the little girl become like a demon? Open her eyes and they'll be like black and like fire, and then she'll murder the world? I don't know. I'm just saying that Sheldon Cooper was from Texas. Oh. Oh. The only way we differentiated my grandparents was by last name. They were grandma, pa, last name. No, Trooper, she's a precious angel. What if she's possessed by a demon? Like, we don't know. We don't know. I suppose that's that one. Worried. This does not seem to be like that coming. I suppose not. I mean, the Tooth Fairy is pretty dangerous. Okay, so this is the 23rd. I wish that we could search by date. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wish we could do that. Because this is not giving us date. But that's fine. It's fine. Karen's possessed by a demon. Oops, spoilers. Only my ex-sister-in-law, who's from Kentucky, calls her grandmother Mima. Huh. That's more like... Okay.
If I remember.
So... What do you... I've got a lot of questions. I still also... I feel like we should be... You know what I think we should be doing? This is what... I need to do this. I want to write down the dates we need to think about, because there are dates we need to think about. That's what I think. It's also a possible etymological root. Appalachian settlers, rather than referring to their mother, might have said me mum rather than my mum. So there's a part of me that has wonder if maybe me mom may have evolved from that. Maybe. We should write down dates. We've got 8/15.
Do this kind of stuff all day in the ER.
And that's move-in day.
You just twist and pull. Come on.
We should pay attention to dates. Also, this is called telling lies. It's probably a clue. Oh, tooth. This is the tooth. This is the tooth. This is the tooth. Tooth. It's tooth.
You got this. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. I've always thought that.
I feel like this is tooth business.
You got it. You got it. Show me. You got it. Show me.
Oh, this is trying to get the tooth from underneath the pillow?
Oh, good job, nurse. Ooh.
Maybe? We need to get dates down.
Or we could pick up where we left off the other night. If I remember correctly, Isabella wanted to do some things to Alex.
Yeah, I think they pulled Alba's tooth as well. Agreed. Agreed.
Okay. You sure you could hypnotize me?
I think it's the key RP with the cam girl. It's very kinky. It has to do with teeth. So,
Okay.
I think...
Now you remember you promised you'd only think of bearded men until I shave this off. You're you are such a sucker for the rock stars. I don't get it.
So, wife is into music. I don't think he ever got kinky with the camera. I don't think so either. It doesn't seem like it. He's one of those weird clients who hires a prostitute to talk because he knows she can keep secrets. That's how I feel too, right? I feel like he's got all this pressure or whatever, and so So I don't want that. I want... okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Let's go with dates. And so we know 8/15 is the move-in day. I just want us to keep a little bit of a record of important dates. I think that might help us. Oh, thank you. The 23rd, let's say 8/23. We're gonna say move-in day, and then maybe talk to FBI contact. We're gonna make a bit of a timeline for ourselves to help us make things, no, that's what she thinks he was doing, iffy, because she's not used to guys just want to talk. Yeah, I think so too. I think that he clearly needs someone to talk to. So we also have 8/23, which is pulling the tooth, maybe. Yeah, I think you're just guessing 2. Yeah. Is sex worker until they get their license, then it's prostitute. Pulling the tooth. And then we have, 8/22. We need to go back to our earlier searches because I want to try to figure out. Are you hearing music? Are you hearing music? Why am I hearing music? Because I feel like Karen is a bit of a mystery, like, because the game is not so far away that it could be.
Okay, I'm gonna pull the tooth now. Oh, but my hands are shaking.
No, I don't think there has always been background music.
It's different when it's my kid.
Okay, this is this conversation.
Pull the tooth out before.
Wait, these have different dates.
It's easy for you to say you're 2,000 miles away.
Okay.
Just be there for support. All right, here we go.
Yeah, I heard rewinding. Okay, so here's my thought. They must be a time zone difference.
Here we go. Oh my god, it's slippery. Shit. If she wakes up, she's gonna be terrified.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
I think it's the game.
Oh god, it wants to come out. Okay, it's so small, it's hard to grab.
Oh my goodness. I know, Mom whispered so loud.
Shut up, I told you, don't talk. Oh, damn it. Oh, God. Okay, shh. Come here, babe. Okay. There we go.
We have to look at the dates again.
All right, okay, this is it.
So I think...
Oh, my God. I got it. Look. I got that little sucker.
I think...
All right, you can go now.
I think, time zone. Yeah, she's on the West Coast, he's on the East Coast, I think.
Isabella wants to go to sleep. Maybe have a big glass of wine. Probably just go to sleep.
Okay.
Hun, I just pulled a tooth out of our sleeping daughter's mouth, and in about 6 hours I'm gonna have to wake up and go wait in the bathroom while she does a crap, because ever since you've been gone she started having that bathroom ghost nightmare again. When I'm in the mood, I'll let you know. Or I'll just put on some Justin Timberlake and have a nice visit with my Hitachi.
So I suppose content warning, there's some sexy talk in this game. That's all.
Father John Misty then. Yeah, well, I fell for you because you looked good in a suit. My vagina's superficial. Good night.
That's the official rating, sexy talk. Okay, so this is interesting. It's I don't think so. All right, so look, it's like a 9:32 for her, but it's in the early morning for him. So clearly we're talking West Coast, East Coast, but we're going to put this on. We'll just have to remember that. We'll put that there, pulling the tooth. All right, I've got a little bit of time. We're about done. So I think what we're going to do right now, this is my thought. We're going to quickly redo the searches we did just for dates. So we have the 23rd. Oh, hey, check it out. This is really interesting. We'll be done in a few seconds. These days, it's mostly adults in the children's life harassing about wanting to pull loose tooth from what I've seen. Official rating, watching sexy talk with a group of friends. So he had that conversation about wanting to have some sexy times with his wife. She says no, and then calls cam girl. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. He goes to the cam girl. I'll admit that one word. That was on the 23rd. And then on 8/29, I think it's good for us to take these notes down. 8/29, he's chatting with music girl closing. We don't have a name for it yet, I don't think, right? I don't think so. And then after we did love, we did David. And then we got... our goal is to figure out the mystery. Right, there's a mystery here, and we're going to uncover it. Our goal is to figure out what is going on. Did she say Ava? Okay. Did I write that down? What is wrong with me? Oh, Music Girl's Ava. Yes, that's right. Calls cam girl, who's probably Maxine, and then Ava. The thing is, you don't get told, right? They don't tell you what you're trying to figure out. You just start diving in, and you just sort of try to figure it out as it is, right? They don't tell you. So we have 9/8. I wasn't sure since I got here late. I'm pretty sure I'd seen someone play parts of this, just making sure. Yeah. Cam girl tattooed her own name on her chest? I don't know. Yes, name tag in the environmental video. Yes. I don't know how insecure you have to be to have a tattoo your own name on your breast, though. In case she might forget. That's true. Also, here we go. So 9/8 is the environmental meeting. And then, wait, are you hearing something? I'm hearing voices. Are you hearing a conversation? Okay, so then 9/14 is chatting with, we're gonna call her Max for the moment, with Max 2. About work. And then after we did, don't answer them. So then it was David. My brother's on Discord in the other room, so I don't think that's what you're hearing. Yeah. So David, what did we do? We did love, we did David, we did love, we did David, then we did Isabella. I need to, where is it? There we go. I have to use my, Isabella. We only did 3 searches? The first cam girl video, it turns out, was on the same day as Oh, I'm hearing all sorts of people. Show searches. Quantico. We did Quantico. That was it. We did Quantico. And then we should go back and search Quantico. Quantico. Just click the eyeglasses there, by the way. Oh, wait. Oh. Oh, we only had one, and that's also move-in day. Okay. So we have done, and then I'm going to also, I don't need to write. So right now we've got a bit of a timeline happening at the moment. He moves in to Ann Arbor. We should probably search for Ann Arbor as well. He is talking to his wife and his contact and family. We have not searched John yet. And we should. And then like a week later, there's the pulling of the tooth and he calls the cam girl because of all that business. Wait. When is the first Isabella? The environmental meeting was the 23rd. Oh, okay. The Isabella thing, the first Isabella thing was also on the 15th. So you've got the move-in day, talk to the contact and family, first Isabella. Okay. Yeah, I'm excited to see Rissa has to go. I've got to go as well. But I'm excited to see where this goes and what we can find out. Let's see. And the environmental meeting was on the 8th of September. And I think those are all of our notes for now. I will see. So it is 9. I'm gonna go, but we have a mystery to figure out what happens with these people. I will be hosting Critical Role in an hour after I get some dinner. And then what else is gonna happen? Then you can see me on Saturday at noon here for Outer Worlds. Sunday, 3 p.m., I've got to set up a tweet about that, will be the thrilling conclusion of Cthulhu Confidential with Algernon Bolden. It's 9/10 to Yuma. And what else is going to happen? What else? We've got and then Wednesday you can find me on The Witcher, Family of Wraiths at the Tales from the Grim. But on Monday, secretly, I'll be having a session 0 for the French Resistance, everyone. I am not prepared. I've got a lot to do between now and then, but I will do it. And the French Resistance campaign, I'm going to do the session 0. It's not going to be streamed. We're just doing it offline. And if he's going to go and get me some overlays, I'm going to put together all the video things, get everything ready. I've got Roll20 stuff to get ready for. I've got things to do before Monday, but I will do it. And it's going to be really good. We're going to get that started so we can get ready for the start time of the campaign, which is going to be beginning of March. But we need our session 0 first. And it's gonna be good. Yeah. That's it. So then you can find me again next Thursday. Everything is good. And I love you all. I've got some socials you can follow if you want, or subscribe up there. And you can join us on Discord. We're very friendly. If you like, you can also... Are you hearing stuff? I'm just hearing things in this game. Sorry. You can also, besides that, you can find me on YouTube where we have an archive of these shows. And also and that's at Trooper SJP. You can find me on Twitter at Academic Foxhole. Also, you can find me on Patreon at Academic Foxhole, and that Patreon is to support the RPG shows that I'm running so I can pay the cast, and also Iffy, and also Lizard Eats Flies for the music, and all of that goodness. So when is the first French stream again? The first French stream, I think, will be the 6th of March. So actually, I think it's like in 2 weeks. Yeah. Oh, the French Resistance is going to be really good for good content. So yeah, I think that the French Resistance game is going to be in 2 weeks. Is that right? I think it is. I think it's in 2 weeks. I think we start in 2 weeks. Everybody, I'm freaking out. freaking out. Freaking out. March 6th. I'm pretty sure that's the date. Yeah, March 6th, that's 2 weeks, right? Yeah. No. Is it? Today's the 20th. Tomorrow's the 21st. A week after that is the 28th. And then a week after that. Yeah. 2 weeks in a day, everybody. French Resistance, 2 weeks in a day. And I have got to get the roll 20 page all together. I've got to get I've got to make the player Bible so I can fix so that they have all the information that they will need, which means hammering out those little details on that stuff. And then I've got to get prepared for their first adventure. So I've got reading to do. I've got a book to. It'll be fine. That's it. I'm going. I'm going to go. All of you are wonderful, and I love you all dearly. And I will see you all in an hour for Critical Role. If not, I will see you on Saturday or whenever you are able to hang out. Thank you for being here. And by the way, just for the record, I really appreciate you all being here with me while I play Telling Lies. You are all such great team members as we try to figure out what is happening in this space, right? And I appreciate you also watching this video with me and learning about the strange things happening in this game. So I want to thank you. Oh, Mardi Gras be this Tuesday. Tuesday's my long day of teaching, whatever. But I'm gonna go eat. I'm gonna go eat. I'm gonna make some food, and I will maybe even have enough time to make some additional food for the future. So I'm going. Oh, Crit Twitch. I love those strong arms. Those strong arms are awesome. I love them. All right, I'm going. That's it. I'm gonna get food. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at Critical Role in an hour. Bye, everybody.